Lock in, fellas. Today I have compiled the absolute best his story videos I've ever watched. All in this one video. Enjoy. The mafia kidnapped me. Let's see if this is better than the shorts. I don't know. I never seen this before. All right, let's lock in together. Already the graphics are looking better than the shorts. I think this could be promising. Let's begin.
I stood at the grill in our backyard, flipping burgers and listening to the laughter of close friends. My wife Sarah happily poured iced tea for everyone, while our daughter Ellie slept peacefully in her crib.
Bro, I'm confused how he's able to do this every day. These are daily uploads. These are higher quality than the shorts. How is this possible? Bro, does this guy have like 100 Argentinian employees? Like, I don't know how this is even remotely possible.
But out of the corner of my eye, I saw a man I had never seen before reach down with both hands and lift Ellie out of her.
I thought the mafia kidnapped you, not your infant daughter, bro. What? You're just letting this guy into your backyard? Bro, what is happening?
I tensed up because I had never seen this man in my life. I walked over to him. Hey, what are you doing? She was sleeping. The stranger flashed an eerie grin, then...
Okay, that's imagine somebody just comes into your home's backyard, takes your kid. Are you just gonna casually walk up and say, hey, what are you doing? Like, bro... You gotta kill this guy. Like, you need to get out your gun and shoot him.
Sarcastically muttered. Oh, was she? I was confused. Sarah came over and was also staring at him. I whispered to Sarah, do you know this guy? She shook her head. No. I stepped closer to the strange man. Put her back in the crib. My friends kept to themselves. Didn't notice anything weird. The man held my daughter closely to his chest and rocked her back and forth.
Yo, bro. Okay, this is just disrespectful. You gotta make a scene at this point. If the other people at the house don't realize what's happening right now, you gotta create a scene. You gotta start, like, you know, make it. You gotta stop this situation. How are you allowing this, bro?
Don't worry about anything, Mike and Sarah. Ellie's in very good hands. My stomach turned with fear.
Yo, how does he know the baby's name, bro? Yeah, this plot is, like, kind of ominous.
And Sarah's face went pale white. I started to walk toward him to try and get my baby away from him, but he moved back. I wouldn't do that, Mikey boy. I got enraged, clenched my fists. If you take another step towards me, today will turn into the worst day of your life. I froze, panicked.
Yo, are they not gonna explain how this guy knows every character's names just somehow?
Continued. Sarah is going to politely tell everyone that there's a gas leak and that the fire department is on the way. Everyone needs to leave right now, and make sure you put on your best smile. My fists were trembling. If you don't tell them to leave right now, your precious little peach will pay. My hands trembled with murderous rage. Then I nodded to Sarah, signaling that she should do what he says. She turned to the party and got their attention. I'm so sorry, everyone. The gas company just called.
Bro, how are they going along with, like, you have like 5 people in your backyard? No, bro, okay, oh my god. Bro, how, like, he's standing 1 foot away from you? I don't, like, you can just all charge this guy and eliminate the opposition. Like, I don't think you have to go along with what he's saying, right?
Somewhere in the area, and they want everyone off the property until they can check it. Sorry. My friends groaned and moaned, then quickly left. The strange man smiled at my friends as he bounced Ellie on his hip and sang, "Rocka my baby on the treetop. If everything goes according to plan, the cradle will drop." My mom used to sing that to me. He laughed.
Bro, what kind of mom did you have? A serial murderer? Like, why would your mom see? No wonder this guy ended up like this with these black, soulless eyes he has. What?
Maniacally. Ellie squirmed against his shoulder and looked at me with scared, helpless eyes. It's gonna be okay, baby. I'm here. Don't lie to her like that. How do you know everything's gonna be okay? I lost my patience. Why don't you quit your weird little game and tell us what the hell you want? I'd love to. My name's Dorian. 6 months ago, I was working out of a sweatshop in Pennsylvania. We ran phone scams, old people mostly, pretending to be the IRS, that kind of thing. One day I called your pretty little wife.
Okay, why is this guy just explaining his life story right now? Are you not a criminal, bro? Why are you admitting to the scams you're doing? Like, why are they getting to know each other right now?
Here. Sarah stiffened beside me. Unfortunately for me, she didn't fall for it. But Sarah is special because her dumbass father, I believe Frank is his name, is a freaking cop. He traced the call, sent a team, and kicked in our door at 4 in the morning. I went to county jail for a week. I was studying him as
a week. You're abducting a baby because you went to county jail for a week. because you were scamming people. Bro, you should be lucky it was only a week. I don't think this is warranted right now.
He talked and was searching for a way in to grab Ellie, but I could barely stop my hands from shaking. My mother had to bail me out. She was so ashamed of me all because of you, and there's—
Why would you get bailed out for a week? Bro, just do the oh my, yo, this guy has got the discipline and mental fortitude of a toddler. You can't do a week in jail. You have to get bailed out. Oh my God.
Nothing I hate worse than letting down my mother. I was alarmed to hear that. Clearly, this guy's psycho. Mother had to spend $40,000 to bail me out.
40,000 for a week? Oh my God. This is the lowest IQ family I've ever heard of. What is this plot?
After I got out, she slapped me across the face so hard that my lip started bleeding. I hate it when she does that. I had to swear to her that I would pay her back, and I will. He glared at Sarah. You owe me $40,000, you twat. Cash, right now, or you'll be at Ellie's funeral within the week. Panicked, raging thoughts pounded through my head. Then I quickly formed a plan. I calmly put my hands out towards him, trying to disarm him. Okay, just take it easy. We have a safe upstairs, and there's about that much cash in it.
Do not let this man in your house, bro. What kind of plan is this? You're letting the man abducting your child into your home? I don't know if this one's gonna play out.
But it needs both of our fingerprints to open it. Then what the hell are you waiting for? Go open it. If you're not back in 5 minutes, I leave with her. I will not let down my mother.
Okay, this is an even worse plan. They're leaving him with the baby. This is actually worse than letting him into the house. Yo, okay, is everybody just stupid in this story? I mean, listen, if I were in his shoes, things would be different. I'll just say that, not to be Tommy Tough Knuckles for a second here, but things would be different.
Took Sarah by the hand and quickly pulled her into the living room. As soon as we were past the kitchen and out of his line of sight, she started to pace frantically as tears formed. This guy's a psycho. What are we gonna do? Listen, I need you to take a deep breath and hear me out. We're going to give him a duffel bag filled with toilet paper rolls and make him think it's cash.
You don't think he's gonna look, bro? You think he's just not gonna look in the bag?
As soon as I hand it to him and he opens it up, I'll dive low and take out his legs. You grab Ellie out of his hands. Got it?
You can
She
do
shook
that
with
without
terror,
the
and I
bag.
grabbed her shoulders.
You could have just done that from the start.
Sarah, I need you to be strong right now. Can you hear me? She nodded. Good. Ellie's going to be okay, and I'm gonna tear this bastard's limbs off. But for right now, we need to—
What? You're gonna— Okay, he must be speaking metaphorically. There's no way that his actual plan is to tear this grown man limb from limb. I mean, he does have some big arms. Like, look at bro's arms. But still, bro, you ain't a gorilla.
To stay composed and execute the plan. I steadied myself, filled up a duffel bag with toilet paper rolls, and nodded at Sarah. She gritted her teeth, and we stepped out to see.
You put one roll, bro.
He was gone. I panicked, rushed out front to see him standing near a black sedan with Ellie in his arms. Leave the cash right here in front of me. I slowly walked over to him and set down the duffel bag.
Since when does this man have a gun? Okay, that kind of changes things. But why is he— Wait. Why is he holding it behind his— Like, wouldn't you be hold— I am in disbelief. I am in disbelief.
Sarah followed closely behind me. Then he
Like,
pulled
why is
out
it
a handgun,
behind his
and I
hand?
hesitated. My plan might have to change based on that. He knelt down, kept the gun on me, and unzipped it. My anger boiled over, and I slapped the gun out of his hand.
You could have done that from the start. You didn't have to do the toilet paper You did not have to do the toilet paper thing, bro. You could have done that in your backyard, bro. Before you uninvited everyone that could have helped you as well.
Lowered my shoulder and tackled him into the side of his black sedan. Sarah was right beside me and grabbed Ellie out of his hands before he hit the ground. Dorian went down hard on his back onto the concrete. I got on top of
him. Okay, actually, I'm not gonna comment on that. It looked like that just looked a little bit freaky. I'm not gonna rewind it, but that looked—
You messed with the wrong family, you piece of crap. I slammed as many right hooks and straight left punches across his face as I could. My rage was boiling as every hit bounced his head off of the asphalt. He was unconscious in about 5 seconds, and my fists crunched into him. Even after he was out cold, I kept swinging. I heard loud pops and crunches, and then saw his neck was laying in a crooked fashion against the curb.
I think you killed him, bro. You were literally hearing his bones break. I think you killed that man.
Finally stopped, glanced at my bloodied up knuckles. I wasn't sure if he was breathing. Mike, stop. Are you all right? I nodded, still trying to catch my breath. Sarah held Ellie, who was softly crying on her shoulder, and I felt shame and embarrassment, having done what I just did in front of my baby. One of my fears was my little girl seeing me as a monster.
Bro, this is like not even a 1-year-old. This is like a 3-month-old baby. She ain't gonna remember, bro. I think you're good.
Stood up, went towards them as Sarah held her tight. It's okay, baby. Everything's all right now. No one can hurt you. Sarah glared down at the lifeless Dick. I got her attention. Call your dad, Sarah. We're gonna need help with this. Why? Because I heard his neck snap on one of the punches and it doesn't look good. Sarah's eyes bulged with terror. Then she quickly called her father, Frank. I made sure none of our neighbors could see anything and laid
yeah, call in Frank. Frank will deal with the situation for sure.
Blue tarp over him, so no one could see anything if they drove by.
That makes it look like it's a dead body, bro. That isn't helping your case. You're in front of your house. Like, just move him to the backyard. I don't know.
Sarah hung up the phone. He's on his way, and he's bringing some help. He said don't touch anything. I felt a crazy adrenaline dump and got exhausted for a few minutes before 2 unmarked Cleveland PD cruisers showed up. The 2 men inside were not in uniform, and they were—
Oh, we're in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, that kind of explains the situation a little bit. This is the type of thing that happens in Cleveland, Ohio.
Older, around Frank's age. They looked at me, and then down at Dorian, and at the pistol in the grass. Shortly thereafter, Frank arrived with his new wife, Diane. She took Sarah and Ellie into the house, while Frank kneeled down to examine Dorian, felt the back of his neck, and let out a sigh. I got really nervous. What is it? His neck's broken. Not sure how bad. I felt a strange mix of being satisfied and really awful at the same time.
Yo, don't feel bad, bro. You're fine. I'm pretty sure that would fall under the tenets legally of self-defense. I don't know. I ain't law by Mike, but I'm pretty sure that's self-defense if he's holding your baby with a gun.
I wasn't trying to paralyze the guy, but I lost control. Don't worry. I have connections at the hospital and at the station that can make the paperwork go away. I nodded, deeply
Frank.
appreciative that a guy like Frank was in my life. 1 week went by, and a police officer I didn't know called me. Hey, just a heads up, Dorian's family is one of the worst criminal organizations on the East Coast. His parents have been running a gun and drug operation since the late 80s. I felt a chill travel up my—
You're telling me his parents are running a drug operation and his mom got mad because he was like scamming people with phone calls? Bro, I think that the mom has bigger fish to fry. Like, I think you raised your son like this. I don't think it's his fault. L family.
Spine. Do you think they'll come for us? Unfortunately, I do. Shit. What can we do? I'm not sure. It's not enough to trigger witness protection. All I can say is, watch your back. I immediately called Frank. Did you know Dorian was connected to crime? I had no idea. I thought it was strange that Frank didn't know that. I poured myself a drink and grew really fearful because I don't think this is over. 2 nights later, Sarah and I got Frank and Diane to babysit while we went out to dinner. We ate at an Italian place downtown, and on our way home, we reached a stretch of street that passes—
You're telling me you aren't leaving the house? Like, why don't you go to your— Bro. Okay, they're doing all the wrong moves. You're staying in the house that the mafia knows that you live in when you just killed their dude. You're just asking to get killed right now, bro.
The quiet industrial area. I noticed a white van following us. My throat tightened. My hands gripped tighter around the wheel. Then I looked back in the rearview mirror and saw the white van pick up speed, come up right behind us, and slam into our back bumper. Hold on! Our car spun out of control. I felt the wheel spinning and turning. We slammed into a metal railing, and we were both being flung back and forth. I smacked my nose into the wheel, while Sarah's head cracked against the dashboard. Our car hit a speed bump, then flipped over onto its—
The inconspicuous speed bump, of course!
The world was upside down, fading in and out of darkness. Then I finally woke up and groaned in pain. I looked over at an unconscious Sarah, saw that she was completely lifeless, and I trembled in panic. Sarah, can you hear me? Come on, babe. Please answer me. She slowly woke up and her eyes blinked several times. Then we both saw the headlight of a car through the side mirror behind us, and 3 men wearing ski masks approached us with guns. I anxiously searched for anything I might be able to use as a weapon and found nothing. I was horrified because it looked like these guys were coming to finish the job. The man on my side aimed his gun down at me. Give us your phones and crawl out. You're coming with us. I was momentarily relieved that he didn't just end us right then and there. Sarah took her cell phone and quickly put it down her bra. The doors were ripped open as 2 men in ski masks cut off our seatbelts with a hunting blade and dragged us out. All the blood had rushed to my head, and I felt a sharp pain in my lower back from the wreck. My head was pounding, and I saw some blood trickling down onto my eyelids. They zip-tied our hands in front, then threw black hoods over our heads. I couldn't see anything but shapes through the dark wool. Then I heard Sarah, "Please don't hurt us. We can give you money if that's what you want." I was anguished hearing Sarah pleading like that. "It's gonna be okay, Sarah." We got shoved into the back of a van that smelled like motor oil and old carpet. My shoulder hit the steel flooring and I felt Sarah land beside me. The van started and my mind was racing in a panic. What did they want with us, and where the hell were they taking us?
Yo, I think you're cooked at this point. I'm not to be a Debbie Downer, as they say, but like, I don't know how you live through this situation. They've got guns, they've got you tied up, they've got you in their car, you just survived a car crash, you're probably at 10 HP right now. I think that they're gonna die. At least they didn't go for the baby. I will say that. At least they didn't go for the baby.
A man's voice spoke out from the front. "Boss lady is pissed at these fools. Yeah, this one should be extra bloody." I felt my guts turn over in terror. This was payback, and if we didn't escape, we were dead. "We're going to take a little drive. Better enjoy it because it will be your last." I was well beyond panicked, and my drive for survival kicked in hard. I started feeling for any part of the zip ties to see if I could somehow escape. I heard Sarah crying and breathing heavily, so I put my head against hers, trying to signal that I was here for her. I felt the van move quickly,
so
then slow
cute.
down at intersections. I felt it speed up again and tried to count turns and distances, but lost track. Sarah whispered, "My phone." Our hands were tied in the front, so I could reach into her bra. I took her phone out and lifted her hood just enough so she could see the screen. I heard the soft click of her tapping the screen as the trunk faintly lit up. She tapped a name, then held the phone awkwardly between her shoulder and her ear. "Frank."
Yo, why are we doing a phone call right now, bro? This is like the most obvious. Like, how do they not catch on to this, bro? Are they not watching them? Oh my. Do a text, bro. Just do a text. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you're gonna get caught on a phone call. This might be a low IQ play. If they can pull this off, wallahi.
Picked up on the first ring. "Sarah?" She spoke in barely a whisper. "Daddy." Her voice cracked. "We've been taken. Track us." The man called out. "Shut the hell up." My entire body was trembling, and all I could do was take long, deep breaths and try to control my fear. I thought of how I might try and escape as soon as we get out. After about 10 minutes, the van stopped and the back doors opened. Hands yanked us out and the hoods came off. We got shoved down to our knees. I adjusted my eyes and saw that we were in an empty warehouse. The three men stood in a half circle around us, rifles slung over their shoulders. Then a Rolls-Royce pulled up into the warehouse, and a black-haired woman stepped out of it. She was small, maybe 50 years old, with a long dark coat and leather gloves.
That's gotta be the mom, no?
She glared down at us. I was really confused because I had never seen this woman in my life. "So you two bastards are the ones responsible for crippling my only son." I felt a surge of terror roll through me. This woman wanted vengeance. I had to try some kind of tactic to get through to her. "Did you know what your son did to us?" "I don't."
Okay, bro, if you can pull this off, this is gonna be like a Breaking Bad level, like, move. You know, like a Heisenberg high IQ drug cartel move right here. Bro, let's see how you sweet talk yourself out of this situation. Genuinely, I think you have a 0% success right here.
Care because whatever he didn't deserve what you did to him. He held our 9-month-old baby captive because he wanted $40,000. She smiled as if she was proud. What can I say?
Why is she proud of that, but not the other thing that her son did that she slapped him across the face for, bro? This mom's gotta lock in on her parenting. What are we doing?
He's always been a very resourceful kid. I couldn't help myself. Is that why he worked as a scammer in a sweatshop? He chose to do that because he wanted his own independence. He was rebelling against his father, and he was trying to break away from the family business and prove that he could do his own thing. He failed, just like I knew he would. Enough talk of the past.
Wow.
I'm going to give you two life-altering choices. Since you're the one that crippled my son, you will be the one to choose. Your wife will either die tonight or go and work in a sweatshop in India in the rice paddies for the rest of her life.
Bro, what? Choose India and just leave, bro. Anything is better than you're telling me living in India is worse than dying? No, I don't think this is an equal ultimatum. Wow.
Your choice. At first, I thought she was actually kidding. Then my neck stiffened when I realized that she wasn't. And if you're thinking that she might be able to escape, she won't. We have armed guards that surround the rice fields and shoot anyone that tries to run. I closed my eyes for
Okay, that kind of changes things. Not gonna
a
lie.
few moments. This was beyond even my worst nightmare. Choice number 2. You're gonna have to choose between your life or your baby's life. My anxiety shot through the roof. Then I glared at this bitch. If it's between my baby and myself,
Choose yourself, bro.
that's not even a choice. I'll choose my child's survival any day.
I thought he was gonna say, I'll choose my child. For a second there, that got me. No, okay, good. That's the right choice.
Okay, fine. One choice has been made. Now what about your wife? She's had nothing to do with this. This was all on me. So I'm asking you, please let her go. She never hurt your son. Just punish me, not her. Please. Absolutely not. You turned one of my loved ones into a freaking vegetable. You will feel what it's like to lose someone you love, just like I have. She nodded to one of her men. It's time for him to choose. The man stood right in front of me and aimed his rifle at my face. My blood boiled over with rage and fear. Sarah wept. Don't worry about me. I'll
Hear me out. Hear me out. The only way out of this situation is Frank. We need you, Frank.
be their slave. It's okay. Hell no. What are you talking about? I can't lose you. I didn't know what to do or say.
I think you're losing her with either one of those options, bro. Like, if you're gonna say no to the rice fields, she's gonna die either way, brother.
Will give you 3 seconds. 3. I froze in panic. 2. I hesitated and mumbled incoherently as the gunman cocked his rifle and stuck the barrel against my head. Sarah wept harder. Please, don't do this. Your son was the one that brought this nightmare to our doorstep, not us. Sarah was right, but this crazy bitch didn't care. It's time to choose. Death or slavery. 1. Time's up. I shook my head and trembled, at a loss. I saw the gunman start to pull the trigger, then I heard Frank's voice. Put your guns down right now. The 3 armed men aimed their rifles at Frank, who held a handgun and was on his own.
Alright, no, but yo, okay. No way Frank can solo these 3 guys with full ARs with 1 handgun. Frank, if you can do this, you are the GOAT. But I have little faith in you, Frank. I'm not gonna lie.
The cops are 2 minutes behind me. Just put the guns down and no one's gonna get hurt.
Why would you say that, bro? Why would you tell them the cops are 2 minutes away? I feel like that's not information you should share in a situation like this.
I was momentarily relieved, but scared that he wouldn't be able to take down all 3 men. The woman stepped out of the shadows towards Frank. Hello, Frank. Frank was shocked when she said that. I froze with even more panic. How do you know his name? Oh, he didn't tell you? Frank here's been taking payouts from our organization for over
Frank!
20 years. Sarah and I were horrified. Sarah's eyes squinted at Frank. Is that true? Frank hesitated long enough to let us know that it was the truth.
Frank, I believed in
I'll
you,
explain
man.
everything later. Right now, you need to let them go and get out of here before the cops come. The woman smiled. You never called any cops. Stop bluffing. I've known you for 20 years, asshole. I can smell a lie a mile away. Frank held his gun as the 3 men kept their rifles aimed at him. The woman got in Frank's face. Since tonight is a wonderful game of choices, I'd like to use this opportunity to test a father's love for his daughter. Frank's
Yo, why are you always doing the ultimatums, girl? He's got a gun and you're in his face. Like, he could kill you right now.
face turned pale. Look, Eleanor, this isn't the time. I think it's exactly the time. How much money do you want to walk away and leave your daughter for dead? Name your price. Frank shifted around nervously. Don't make me choose. Sarah was betrayed, disgusted. Eleanor got closer to Frank and put the barrel of his gun down. How much for the life of your daughter? Give me a number. He stared down at the ground.
$10. If you get to choose the number, $10, bro. Just throw out a lowball, bro. Do it like Facebook Marketplace. Just lowball your daughter to save her life. You never know. She might take it.
Then quietly said, $5 million in cash.
5 million, bro. She gave you a choice. You could have said 1 million if you really want to go into the M's.
Sarah lunged up and tried to kick him, enraged. She screamed, "You're dead to me, you piece of shit. No wonder Mom left you." The gunman held her back and shoved her down to her knees. I was so pissed when I thought of all the times I helped this man and treated him like family. Eleanor was loving every second of this. I must say, I don't get surprised very often, but I am this time. Choosing cash over your own flesh and blood. Impressively vicious. Maybe you should come and work for me. He stared down at the ground in shame. Do we have a deal or not? No. I just wanted to destroy your family, and you did that all by yourself.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have the power in this situation. Why would you even, like, think that she's gonna honor your wishes, Frank?
I'm not giving you a penny. Frank turned red with rage, then raised his gun, and I heard, "Pop!" Pop! The two gunmen put bullets in him and ended Frank.
Frank down. We're gonna need the reboot van.
Sarah was staring down at him in shock. Then I quickly used the opportunity of them aiming at Frank to grab her hand, and we both took off running towards a back entrance. Clack, clack, clack. Gunshots rattled out behind us and bounced off of the warehouse walls.
Holy bad aim, bro. Holy bad aim. How can they not hit these people running in a straight line? These are the teammates I get matched with in ranked, I swear.
Two bullets whizzed past my head and ran faster. We rushed out of the main area of the warehouse, then down a hallway and into a large area of cubicles. The three gunmen were approaching us fast, and we ran further in and ducked down behind a desk in a cubicle. My palms were sweating as my heart pounded. I signaled for Sarah to be as quiet as possible, then saw a pair of scissors, grabbed it, and cut off our zip ties. I held the scissors in
the perfect scissors on the ground, of course.
My hand as a weapon, and then waited. I heard one of the men whisper, "Split up." I clutched onto my scissors, peeked around the edge of the cubicle wall, and saw one of the men approaching us. He didn't see us, so I lifted the scissors and got ready for combat.
Yo, that's perfect too. It's the one with the sniper. Yeah, I don't think he's doing much with that in close range. I don't know why he's brought a sniper into a close quarters combat situation. Brother.
Got closer, closer, closer. Then, as he got right next to our cubicle, he stopped. I held my breath and stayed as still as possible. If he took another step, I was going to attack. Then he quickly spun around the edge of our cubicle and aimed his gun at us. He knew we were there. I smacked his gun barrel out of our faces as he fired a shot. I lunged up and stuck the scissors into his midsection. As we fell, I covered his mouth so he couldn't call out for the others. His eyes bulged as he felt the knife inside him, then drifted away. We ducked down and rushed out of a back door and saw nothing but miles and miles of thick woods in front of us. I slammed the door shut behind us to buy us some time, and we took off running into the woods. Now we were in my terrain.
Oh, he's got the sniper too. Get a little bit of distance, camp with the door, just like go prone. They're not gonna hit you. You got the range on them. No, this is secured at this point. This is very easy to win.
I had grown up hunting with my dad, so I welcomed these assholes to chase us. I found the first oak tree and hid Sarah underneath some brush. I climbed the nearest perch of branches, aimed the rifle, and waited. I saw the first man approaching my position. He had no idea where I was. I focused the scope, caught him in the crosshairs, let out a slow, controlled breath, and pulled the trigger. He was gone before he hit the ground. His last remaining buddy heard the shot and carefully approached his friend's position. He was smarter, saw me up in the tree, and fired 2 shots that almost got me. I jumped down the tree and heard 2 more shots go off right behind me.
Bro, use the gun, bro. Why? And he just jumped out of a tree too. Like, how did your legs not just collapse under your weight jumping out of a tree, bro?
Ah, shit! I took off running, unsure of how close he was behind me. Another bullet whizzed by me. Son of a bitch! Then another bullet bounced off the tree next to me, and I ran a few hundred feet and saw the entrance to a cave. I snuck in, waited right by the entrance to the right. He rushed in, gun aimed, and I had a bullet waiting for him. It was really dark, but the muzzle fire from my rifle revealed his position and his fate. He hit the cave floor, gone. I grabbed his rifle, took out the bullets, and headed back towards where Sarah was hidden. I arrived and saw that she wasn't there. My heart sank. I tasted a bitter.
The mom got her and probably hit her with the classic slap to the face like she apparently does to her kids.
Fear and clenched my fists in frustration. Did Eleanor find her? Did she kill her? I searched everywhere and couldn't find her at all. I made my way back to the warehouse, slammed open the door in a panic, and saw Eleanor holding
Of course, bro. It never ends, bro.
Sarah by the back of her neck.
Why would you even leave your wife? Just stay in the tree. Why would you run all the way to the cave to shoot him? Oh my god, bro. This guy's dumb.
And she had a gun to her head. I aimed my rifle, trying to get a clean shot. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Put your gun down, or your wife gets it. I was terrified for Sarah. I knew I only had one chance to save her, and I couldn't do that by lowering my gun. Eleanor saw me hesitate and yelled out. I said, "Put it down right now." I aimed again, then thought of some way I could signal to Sarah to duck down. I didn't need to, because Sarah had such a wild-eyed, vicious gaze in her eyes and wasn't going to let this old bitch take us down. She waited for Eleanor to look away, then gripped onto her wrist and bit down so hard it caused her to drop the gun and wail out in pain. I didn't hesitate.
You could have done that to the guy at your backyard, bro.
I fired one clean shot and sent the evil twat to the fiery halls of hell. I made sure there was no one else, then pulled Sarah in close. We hugged and shed a few tears of relief. "I'm so sorry about your dad." "Don't be. He deserved what he got." We stepped out, found Sarah's cell phone and called the police. They arrived and we took them through everything that happened. When they saw Eleanor and identified her, they were celebrating like they won the lottery. She was on the FBI's most wanted list for the last 27 years. They all congratulated me, but I didn't care. I just wanted to go and pick up Ellie and go home. A few hours later, Sarah and I drove by Frank and Diane's house to pick up Ellie, and we were—
Don't tell me the baby's gonna be gone, bro. Don't tell me there's a twist ending and the baby was abducted while they were gone because they didn't choose to go to, I don't know, maybe a different place of residence than the one that the mafia boss is, like, knows where they live.
We're both afraid of what we would tell Diane about who Frank really was. We knocked on the front door and saw that it was partially open. We entered and saw that the whole place was empty, and Diane had packed up her bags and taken Ellie. She was gone. Sarah and I shared a terrified look.
That's how it ends?
It was quiet.
That's how it ends? No, bro. What do you mean it ends like that? They're not gonna follow up on that story? Or wait, is that this one? I took down the cartel. I don't even know. Maybe it continues in another one. I don't know, bro. I took revenge on Chester. This is about to be cinema. For those who do not know, this lore runs deep on this channel. Just look at this clip.
You ever felt a tiger's claw? Then he stabbed a pencil an inch deep into my back.
Yeah, there's a story of this squirt in class stabbing him with his pencil. By the end, you know, he does get laid out. He gets laid out like a Family Guy, you know, when Peter dies. So yeah, there's a lot of lore that goes into this video. Let's start the video. I took revenge on Chester. Lock in.
Lockers, looking bored. Both of them were 6'8", 300 pounds each, and were starting—
6'8", 300 pounds. These people are cows. This is an ox of a man. All right, I did not know Chester had those genetics in him.
Linemen on the football team. They were both 20 years old and still walking the halls of my high school like a—
So they're super seniors. These dudes are 20 and they're still in the high school cafeteria. Yo, these guys got to get a life. Oh my God. Bro, move on. You peaked in high school, bro.
Pair of tired bears, because every time the school tried to graduate them, they punched somebody and got held back a year. These were the notorious Marshall brothers. Chester knew no one would mess with him because they were terrified of his massive brothers. Chester looked at his right hand that had a scorpion tattoo on the inside of his wrist.
Yo, Chester, that's really, bro. Your little is gonna get tattoos of scorpions on his wrist. You ain't tough, bro. Pack it up, son.
Have you ever felt a scorpion sting? I stayed still, thinking that if—
Wait, that was the line from when he stabbed it with the pencil I showed you. Oh my God, throwback. No, bro. I didn't know that continuous lore from the long forms to shorts. Yo, this is cinema.
If I didn't respond, I could just disappear, and it would maybe be better. I was wrong because he slapped me hard across the face. My fists clenched up. Pure rage flooded through me. I felt the muscles in my arms lock and my weight shift forward, and for half a second I almost let myself tear his head off. Then I saw his massive, monstrous brothers both watching me very closely. Chester smiled, grabbed a fistful of my hair, and drove my face into the metal of the locker room.
Bro! Look. Oh. There's no way Chester's that strong, bro.
Door. The sound of my nose breaking was like someone snapping a pencil under a towel. Blood ran straight down my chin and started dripping onto the tiles. His knee came up into my stomach, folding me over. He whacked me across the back of my head.
Bro, what is warranting this? Like, what, does Chester just enjoy beating people up and he just chose this victim for the day? Or did, like, something happen? Like, why is he just doing this to him?
With 2 more punches, sending me down to the ground. Then he started kicking. 3, 4, 5 times in the ribs. His sneakers pounding—
that did not look like the ribs. Let's get an instant replay on that.
To the ground.
That did not
Then
look
he started kicking.
That is directly into the dit. I'm not gonna lie.
His sneakers pounding into me. I curled up because there was nothing else I could do, and I emotionally detached because I had to, in order to deal with this. Stay down, piss boy. Bo and Cody giggled from the doorway.
Boy.
I love it when he has nicknames for his victims. Yeah, wait until Dad gets home.
Yo, he's just the plaything for his brothers. They just, like, have this kid beat up people for sport. Bro.
And hears about this. He's gonna love it.
Average Italian family.
The whole thing lasted about 90 seconds, and then Chester spit on me and then walked out. I lay on the blood-wet tile and listened to their sneakers fade down the hallway. I got up slowly, cleaned my face at the sink with brown paper towels, and stuffed wet tissue up my nostrils until the bleeding stopped. I felt like such a pathetic, helpless loser. Then I realized that this had gone on for over a year, and I needed to report it. I went and told the principal, and he was shocked. Chester, you expect me to believe that little shrimp is actually hurting anyone?
That's what I was saying, bro. He's way too little to be doing all of this damage to him. How did he, like, break his nose on the first blast, kick him while he's down? Like, bro, Chester can't break a dude's nose. I know he's not that strong. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
He's one of our best students. Don't you have anything better to do?
No way. He is one of your best students, bro. This dude's probably Chester's dad.
Get out of my office. On my way out, I bumped into Chester's father, Wayne Marshall. Watch where
Okay, never mind. Never mind.
you're going. He giggled and then hugged my principal. I was horrified.
His gay dad! Ooh. Chester has a gay dad, and that is why he gets away with all of this. They're probably rigging his grades, too.
No wonder he backed up Chester. He was friends with his dad. To make matters even worse, Wayne had just come out of prison after a 10-year stint for manslaughter. The principal saw me staring
Chester's dad is a murderer? Yo, it's like lore drop after lore drop. They're telling us everything about this kid's family.
at both of them and nudged Wayne. This dumb kid actually just told me that Chester is picking on him. They both busted up laughing so hard that even the secretary joined in. I felt so small. Then Wayne called out, "Yeah, all 4 feet, nothing of him." They cracked up even harder.
Yo, okay, that's your son, bro. I don't care how evil your family is, that's your son, bro. You're gonna say all 4 feet, brother. Have a little bit of faith in your son, even if he's evil, bro.
As the principal blurted out, "Stop, stop, you're gonna make me piss myself." The entire office erupted in laughter. I shook my head and left feeling hopeless. I felt invisible, like I didn't matter or exist to anyone. I had no one else to turn to, so I went home that night, sat across the kitchen table from my dad, who was an ex-Marine, and I told him everything. He didn't say anything for a full minute, then looked at me with a cold, hard glare that I had never seen before. He stood up and grabbed his keys off the counter. "Get in the truck." We drove for 30 miles.
Ex-Marine dad's about to go to Chester's house and beat up his dad, kill his son, and arrest both of his brothers. Prediction, let's lock it in.
In silence. Then he glanced over at me. "This is on me. I thought I had trained you better to defend yourself. I'm really sorry, son. I think it's because after your mother died, I didn't want to be too hard on you, but that's gonna change now." That made me really sad because I knew he had always tried to do his best. I didn't ask where we were going, and he didn't tell me. We finally pulled into a strip mall parking lot. The sign over one of the doors read,
"Oh, he's gonna train his son." Wait, this is exactly what I told him. No, bro, I'm not about to take credit for this video, but I literally said when I reacted to it in the long form on my main channel, we need a demon arc where this dude trains to beat up Chester. Bro, I'm not about to take credit for this because I'm sure I'm sure that's not me. But still, bro, this is exactly what I wanted.
Combat sports. Through the front window, I could see a boxing ring, a row of heavy bags, and a man inside taping another fighter's hands. I felt really insecure and scared. "I'm too busy to train you in the way you should be trained, so I'm handing you off to a fellow Marine." Dad walked me through the door, and the man came over. He was maybe 5'10",
this
lean,
dude's
with cauliflower
huge
ears, and the kind of nose that's been broken so many times, it was barely there. "It's great to see you, Rico." They shared a hug. "So, this is your boy, huh?" "Yeah, he needs to learn how to handle himself. The real shit. Don't go easy on him." Rico looked me up and down. He pressed on my
Oh my god, yo, what a mog. Look at his arms compared to his. Like, this is a grade A mog. Yo, this kid's about to go through the most ruthless training arc to beat up Chester and the bullies. And the dad, screw it.
shoulders, felt my hands, and noticed the way I was standing. Rico didn't believe in conditioning you slowly. He believed in throwing you into the deep end and seeing if you remembered how to swim. The first day he made me jump rope for 20 straight minutes. I couldn't do it, and he didn't care. He stood there with a stopwatch, and every time I tripped, start over. By the end of the 20 minutes, I was on the ground throwing up into a bucket while he made notes on a clipboard.
In 20
I looked at myself
minutes?
in the mirror that night and saw Chester's ugly face taunting me.
Oh my god.
"You ain't nothing but a weak-ass little piss boy." I felt terrified that I wouldn't be able to do this. The second day, he put me in front of a heavy bag and showed me how to throw a jab. Just a jab. For an hour. Left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract, until my shoulder was cooked. Every jab I threw, I saw Chester's face laughing at me on the heavy bag. You missed, piss boy. I punched the
my
bag harder
God.
and harder.
Yo, he's haunting him, bro. Chester is like an evil spirit haunting this kid's every move. He's living rent-free in his head. Oh my God.
Harder, using his words as continuous motivation. The third day, he put gloves on me and we sparred. Or at least, that's what he called it. I called it being hit in the face and the liver for 10 minutes by a 40-year-old.
And the liver? Bro, if you get punched in the liver, I heard that that's like the most painful experience you could ever get hit in. Like, he is not going easy on this kid. He might have to tone it down.
Former pro, who was holding back just enough not to kill me. By the end of the round, I was crying. He pulled the gloves off my hands. Save your tears for someone who cares. See you tomorrow. I went back the next day, and the next. I'd still get emotional after getting hit. Rico pulled me aside. It's not just about the physical. You're gonna get tested mentally, and that'll be the hardest test you ever face. I understood and started to harden on the inside. I trained 6 days a week for months and months. Then one Tuesday, I looked at myself in the mirror and my shoulders weren't the same shoulders I had in January. My jaw was set differently. There's a vein running down my forearm that wasn't there before, and my abs are starting to show. I went to school and saw Chester walking with his big brothers down the hallway and thought to myself,
Yo, bro, I don't think you take this fight yet. I don't think you've been training long enough. I don't know. I could be assessing the situation in an incorrect fashion right now, but I don't think you 1v3 this. I don't think you've been training long enough.
just wait until the last day of school, you piece of crap. There's a tornado
Oh, the last day of school.
coming. As I kept sparring, I started to find the rhythm and find the openings. I knocked a semi-pro onto his back with a left hook he never saw coming. He got up laughing, slapped
The
me on the
liver
shoulder
shot
and told
he
Rico,
learned.
he's getting good. Rico nodded. Through all of it, I said nothing at school. I let Chester keep taking my lunch money. He took it on a Tuesday, and I handed it over without a word, my eyes staring down at the floor, the way I had been doing it ever since sophomore year. He shoved me into a locker on the way out of English class, and I bounced off it and kept walking like I always had. He poured Coke down my back in the cafeteria one day, and I sat there and let it run down into the waistband of my jeans. I didn't move, and I didn't speak. I wanted him to think that nothing had changed. I wanted him relaxed. I wanted him sloppy.
Wait, that's genius. That's so smart. Oh my God. Yo, that's actually high IQ, bro. Gotta hand it to the kid. He's tough.
Was stoic and quietly cold and had nothing but revenge on my calendar. June 14th, the last day of school. That date was the only thing I cared about. June 14th was a half day. Everyone was hanging out in the courtyard. Kids running around signing each other's yearbooks and crying about how much they'll miss everyone. I walked through the building with my backpack slung over one shoulder, and I didn't sign anybody's yearbook. I didn't care about anyone, not even Lauren anymore, who pretended I didn't exist my entire senior year. I went out of the side door by the gym, and I found Chester behind the building, smoking a cigarette next to the dumpster. He saw me, and he gave me that same little smirk. "What's up, piss boy? Want another ass whooping?" He shoved
Yo, Chester, you gotta lay it off when you're out in the school hallways, bro. You don't have your bodyguards with you. Also, what are the odds that Chester's at the gym? Pfft. You better put him in a body bag. Hear me out? Put him in a body bag, throw him in the dumpster right behind him. Lock in.
me in the chest. I let myself rock back a half step. He shoved me again, harder. I stayed quiet. I let my hands hang loose at my sides. He wound up for a slap. I smiled, feeling excitement I never knew I could feel. "Hey Chester, have you ever felt a scorpion sting?" He stared at me, confused. 14 months
Full
of pure
circle.
murderous rage formed within my gut as my left jab sprung out. 7 months of left arm out, retract, left arm out, retract. It caught him flat on the nose, and I heard the cartilage snap. His head jolted back. Before he could process what had happened, I came over the top with a right cross that caught his temple, rotated his whole skull on his neck, and dislocated his jaw. He started to fall.
Bro, you're gonna kill him, bro. Brother, you dislocated his skull.
He didn't get to finish falling because another left hook slammed into his ribs on the way down, cracked 3 of them, and folded him sideways. As his head dropped to about waist level, a knee came up and caught him under the chin. He hit the concrete with a loud thud.
Yeah, he's dead. If he hit the concrete with a loud thud, yeah, he's
never
dead.
felt such deep satisfaction. I stood over him, breathing slow and even, the way Rico had taught me to breathe in the ring, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Then I heard a loud guttural yell. "What the hell?" I turned around and saw Bo and Cody charging towards me with rage in their eyes and clenched fists.
Does he win this? Bo and Cody, the 20-year-old Italians? I don't know. I don't know if he wins this. I think he loses this.
I felt the fear grip my throat, but I put my fists up and braced myself. They rushed towards me, and right before they reached me, they stopped. They both wanted to hit me, but hesitated. They froze. Both of them were deeply conflicted with what to do. Hit me like that. He held his arms out. Come on, tough guy. Hit me like that. Cody pulled up next to him. Yeah, hit one of us. Do it. I dare ya. I was terrified for a few seconds. Then I understood perfectly. You dickheads can't take a swing at me, can you? You'll both be expelled, probably.
I know exactly what he's doing right here. He's trying to antagonize them so they hit first, so he doesn't catch a case right now, right? He's trying to do the self-defense method and hit second. I respect you. Kid's tough. I'll give him that.
We end up in jail. By the look in their eyes, I could tell I was right. I smiled. You need me to swing first, then you can swing and call it self-defense. I grinned, flipped them off, stepped over an unconscious Chester, and walked away.
I didn't consider this kid's a minor. Yeah, those dudes would go to prison if they did anything.
Never set foot in that high school again. I heard later that Chester was rushed to the hospital. My dad was waiting on the porch when I got home. I sat down next to him on the steps, and I told him what I'd done. He nodded once. Good. I was happy as hell that night. I woke up thinking that I finally had a whole new life with nothing but happiness and joy to look forward to. Then I got a call from my cousin Sarah that works as a nurse at the local hospital. Hey, are you the one that beat up some kid named Chester? Yeah.
Oh no. I was thinking, like, how are we only halfway through the video? Did he not beat up Chester? Bro, Chester is going to die, bro. Chester is going to die.
How did you know? His father, Wayne, is here, along with his two big brothers. He has a broken jaw, a broken nose, 3 broken ribs, and a severe concussion. He's gonna need to be fed through a straw. Good. Well, I'm calling because when his dad saw him, he swore vengeance. I mean real murderous vengeance. And he knows it was you.
I forgot his dad was a murderer. Oh my god, bro. I forgot his dad was a murderer,
hung
bro.
up, terrified. Wayne was a vicious ex-criminal who spent his whole life in and out of prison. I immediately told my dad about Wayne, and he knew exactly who he was, and tensed up. Shit. I got even more nervous when I saw my dad turned cold. A day later, a black pickup truck drove by with tinted windows. Then an hour later, the same black pickup drove by, but this time, there was a red pickup truck right behind it. Both trucks slowed down at our mailbox, then peeled out and sped off. My dad pulled me inside. Remember when I showed you how to handle the shotgun and the rifle? I swallowed my fear.
They're not about to shoot these guys.
Yes, sir. Refresh your memory, because these guys aren't playing around. I grabbed the guns out of the
Dude, this has escalated way further than I thought it was going to be. Bro, they're gonna do a shootout with the Italian family, bro. Oh my god, this is not... I thought this was just gonna be some, like, little, like, high school bully revenge story, but no, now they're strapped, they have guns, and they're gonna kill each other. How did it come to this?
Closet and went through loading, aiming, and unloading. I readjusted the scope on the rifle and got it ready while my dad checked around the perimeter of our house. He then checked all the locks on the doors and handed me rubber buckshot bullets. We want them stopped, not dead. That gave me some sense of relief because I didn't want murder on my conscience. Look, son, you did your part in this. You stood up for yourself and did what's right. Now it's my turn to let these assholes know that we won't be messed with. So I need you to stay upstairs. I was confused and mad. What? Why? Because fighting someone in hand-to-hand combat is a very different thing than dealing with weapons. But you've been training me on how to shoot ever since I was 3. I understand that, but it's my final decision. I can't have you getting into any real trouble over this. If shit gets really bad, I will be the one to handle it, not you. Remember, real strength is restraint. Hurting people is easy. Knowing when not to is hard. I knew—
Yo, this dude is like, I have no enemies right now. Like, this is just like Vinland Saga, if you ever seen that show. Holy, this dad got hella aura.
I couldn't argue with him when he gave me that look. Turn out every light in the house. If they come in here, we'll still know where everything is and have the advantage. I went upstairs, turned out all my lights, cracked open my window just a bit so I could hear someone coming, and I waited. I only had my cell phone that was casting any light if I needed it. The next several minutes were completely silent except for the eerie hum of our refrigerator. I could hear and feel my heart pounding in my chest. A few seconds later, I noticed my cell phone had no service. They must have cut our Wi-Fi connection at our electrical box, which meant we couldn't call the cops. Then my stomach dropped when I heard footsteps coming from the—
No, that's a sign that they're intending to murder you, bro. If they're cutting your Wi-Fi, no, that is a surefire sign that they have intent to kill.
outside. I quietly looked out of the edge of my window.
Who's the bald guy? Who is the bald guy?
Blind and saw
He has a bro. Oh, they have shotguns, bro.
Wayne Marshall, Bo, Cody, and what I assumed was Wayne's brother, who was a massive tattooed monster of a man. They were all carrying handguns and shotguns, and I'd bet my life that they weren't loaded with rubber bullets. I quickly turned away, having never felt terror that deeply coursed through my veins. I looked out again and saw Wayne pound on our front door and call out, "Your boy has a debt to pay. My son is on life support from a concussion that he did not deserve. He's an innocent, fragile, small kid that your son bullied." I shook my head in disgust at how bad of a lie that was. "So you're gonna hand over that dickhead son of yours, and we're gonna beat his little ass into oblivion, and you're gonna watch? Or else we'll come in there and take out whoever we need to. And we are not leaving this property until justice is served." I felt a burning mix of fear and rage boiling up in me. My dad wasn't having it. "I don't know what kind of lies you've been told about your angel of a son, but it's all bullshit. For over the last 2 years, that tiny bully tortured and beat up my son every damn day at school, and those big brothers of his were helping."
What, bro? Oh my god, dude. I am at a loss for words right now. How is this happening in the story, bro? This is not what I expected at all from this. Oh my god.
I grinned, proud that I had an awesome dad who had my back. Then I heard Cody chime in. "He's lying, Dad. We both saw his kid beat up on Chester because he's so small." Wayne called out even louder. "It looks like you and I are at an impasse and have different understandings of what has occurred. So I'm gonna give you 10 seconds before we bust this door down, and I am not leaving here until justice is served, and I bring that little piss boy to the brink of death." I felt a chill
Piss boy. It runs in the family.
travel up my spine. He wasn't kidding, and he was willing to follow through. That scared the crap out of me. My father wasn't afraid at all. "I'm gonna warn you redneck assholes one time. If you take one step inside my house, you will be fired upon. And just so you're aware, I was planning to arm myself with rubber bullets. Well, those have been switched out to real bullets.
Valid. What? Valid.
So you will be taking your own life in your hands if you bust in here." There was a cold silence. I felt them hesitate after hearing that. I peeked outside and saw Wayne signal to Cody and Bo to head around to the back. The uncle went to the side of the house, and Wayne started kicking in at the door. Our house was old, and the wooden door wouldn't hold up for very long. Each kick he landed, I heard the wood splinter and crack. Then I heard the glass of our side window crack.
Yo, bro, you have a gun? I don't know if you know this, Baldy, but like, you don't have to directly punch through a window with your bare hands. Yo, are you... You know what? This guy's probably not too bright. I'm not gonna lie. You can't blame him.
Through. The fragile quality of my house made me feel so vulnerable to outside forces. There was no protection, and I hated that Dad wanted me to stay up here. I paced frantically, desperately wanted to go down and help him, so I grabbed my shotgun and waited at the top of the stairs. I looked down and couldn't see where my dad was. Then Wayne's boot busted through the front door. I got startled. Then I saw Wayne reach in, unlock it from the inside, and swing open the broken door. Only moonlight was casting any light into the room, and I thought to myself, will this be my last night on Earth? Wayne entered, shotgun aimed. Then I saw Cody and Bo climb in through the side window and heard the back door getting pounded in by their uncle. I panicked.
Wait, why did he... Yo, why... Okay, hold on, bro. Why did the uncle punch through the window if he's just going to knock on the back door? Bro, what kind of plan did these people have? Like, what? Bro, this makes him punching the window even stupider. You're not even going in through the window, you punched through with your bare hand? Wow.
By their uncle. I panicked. Never felt that much fear in my life. Not only for myself, but for my dad, who was only one man versus four. Then Wayne looked up towards me. Come out wherever you are. Pop, pop. I heard 2 loud shots, looked down, and saw my dad had shot Wayne twice in the gut. He keeled over in pain and dropped his shotgun. There wasn't any blood, which meant my dad still used rubber bullets. I was relieved to see that, but grew even more fearful when I thought that his brothers and the uncle would retaliate against my dad. Cody saw me at the top of the stairs and started rushing up towards me. I held my breath, readied myself, moved to the side of the hallway, waited for him to come up, and as he stepped over the last step, I slammed the hardest roundhouse kick across his face that I've ever thrown in my life. I heard the bone of his nose bust as he tumbled back.
Bro, how? Oh my god. What a pause. How? Bro, how did he just kick him in the head? I thought he only trained the punch. This kid turned into like the greatest fighter in the world in only 7 months of locking in. Like, you gotta keep in mind, this dude's a sophomore in high school. Bro's like 15.
Down the stairs in a heap and smacked into the floor at the bottom. I heard him yell out in agony, looked down, and saw that he had landed wrong on his right leg and broke it. It was crooked and mangled. I felt vindicated because it was the perfect kick, then fell back into sheer terror when Bo aimed his gun up at me and fired 3 times. My ears were ringing, heart pounding out of my chest. My dad called out, "Put that gun down right now, son." He was talking to Bo. "I'll take out your father if you don't." Bo hesitated and turned around to see my dad standing behind Wayne with his shotgun aimed at his neck. "If you take any more shots at my son, I will end your father. Do you—"
Yo, and that's a loaded gun too. Like, that's, you know, that one doesn't have rubber bullets in it too, bro. If he pulls the trigger, he is changing the trajectory of his son's life forever. This is gonna be traumatizing.
Hear me? I was amazed and alarmed at how calm my dad's voice was when he said that. Then everything took a turn for the worse when their uncle tackled my dad from behind and slammed him down to the ground. He had snuck in from the back door. Wayne, the uncle, and Bo all aimed their guns down at my dad. I froze, panicked. I couldn't just let them hurt my dad. Wayne kicked my dad a few times in the ribs and looked up at me at the top of the stairs. "You better get down here, boy, or else your little daddy's gonna be paying a visit to an early grave." Cody was still at the bottom of the stairs, unable to move at all. My dad glanced up at me, still so eerily calm. "Don't you dare come down here, son. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right." Wayne took his shotgun, stuck a knee in my dad's chest, and aimed the weapon in his face, while Bo and the uncle held him down. I was so scared that they would hurt him. I wanted to cry, but I held it back. Wayne looked up at me. "I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get down here, boy, or I'll end him. I've done it many times before. I'll do it again. 5, 4, 3. I had no idea what to do, but didn't feel like I actually had a choice. I knew that I had to give in, so I tossed my gun down the stairs. "All right, take it easy. I'm coming down." My dad barked. I said, "Don't come down here." I barked at him.
No, he's gotta have some moves, bro. I don't know how, but I have full faith in this kid after what he's been through in this video. Bro, somehow he's about to solo 4 grown men with guns. Just watch. I believe in it.
"Won't sit back and let them hurt you, Dad. I'm coming down." I slowly walked down the stairs and stood in front of them with my hands up. My dad was laying on his back and had positioned himself near Wayne's legs. I made eye contact with my dad and was searching for some type of signal, but didn't see one. My fear grew in intensity, and I started mentally preparing myself for what's to come. I could barely breathe and felt a quiet adrenaline coursing through my blood. If I was about to take the worst beating of my life to save my dad, so be it. I made my way
son. Wow.
closer to Wayne. Bo and the uncle were standing on both sides of me. I glared at Wayne with a quiet, focused rage. Chester was the worst bully our school had ever encountered, and I think deep down, you know the truth about him. I hadn't ever hurt anyone my entire life until your son brought nothing but violence and hatred toward not just me, but every kid in the school, boys and girls. And your other 2 sons not only allowed it, they supported it. Wayne smiled as if he was proud of what they did. I raised them to be tough. If you can't stand the heat, get the hell out of the kitchen.
Bro, he's at school. What are you talking about? You just broke into his kitchen. Yo, bro. Oh my god, bro. How do they write these characters and these villains like so backwards? Like, these dudes have no sense of logic.
Hurting girls is them being tough, huh? Wayne wasn't about to back down. The bitch probably deserved it. Bo and Cody laughed. That enraged me. I thought to myself, they might get the best of me, but I will take them to the grave with me, so help me God. Wayne gestured at Bo.
What do you mean you're gonna take them to the grave with you? What are you gonna do to them, bro?
Grab him, take him out back. It's time to enjoy the sweet taste of justice. This whole situation tested my will. This is what Rico was talking about. This was the ultimate mental test, and I was prepared. I knew that I needed to act quickly, so I nodded at my dad, giving him a signal. I took a long, deep breath in, knowing we only had one chance at survival. My dad nodded back, so I quickly threw a spinning sidekick into Bo's ribs and heard 3 distinct cracks.
Spinning sidekick.
He keeled over in agonizing pain. His ribs definitely busted. At the same moment, my dad grabbed the uncle's leg, tripped him, wrapped his legs around his neck from below, and put him in a strangling chokehold.
Oh my
He was unconscious
God.
within seconds. Wayne was the last man standing. He saw that both of his sons were taken out and realized that the uncle was also unconscious. So he aimed his shotgun at me, and I didn't have the leverage to attack him. I wasn't close enough. I froze, felt abject terror. He grinned, started to pull the trigger. Then my dad swept his feet out from under him, causing him to fall forwards, drop the gun, and faceplant into the hardwood floor. Wayne went to reach for his shotgun, so I took a step towards him and pretended his head was a soccer ball. "Hey Wayne, have you ever felt a scorpion sting?" He glanced up at me, confused. "That's something your cunt of a son used to ask me." I took a step and kicked him in the side of the head so hard that he was knocked out for over 20 minutes.
That was cold.
I helped my dad up and embraced him. I've never felt more relief and satisfaction in my life. The police finally arrived and carted all 4 of these idiots out on stretchers. 2 days later, a police officer called me at home, and I put him on speaker so my dad could hear. A judge has put Wayne back in federal prison for another 10-year stint for attempted murder. His brother and his sons will all be joining him for 5 years. Thank you, officer. A month later, I walked across the graduation stage in my blue gown with a tassel on my head, and I saw the principal. He had heard what happened with Chester's family, and he put his hand out to shake mine. He had a look of empathy and was hoping that I had forgotten that he did nothing to help me. No hard feelings, right, son? I ignored his hand and flipped him off. Eat a dick. His face turned green with embarrassment because I made sure all the other teachers heard that. Then I walked past Chester, who was also graduating. He was still really weak and sitting off to the side. His jaw was wired shut.
Yo, at this point, I have forgotten about Chester altogether. Oh my god, he just put him in a stretcher like at minute 8 of this video, and he's been in the hospital ever since.
I leaned down to him and whispered, "When I think about how bad I beat your ass, it gives me the warm and fuzzies."
The warm and fuzzies! No, bro, that's a callback to the original video. That was cinema. Oh my god. Bro, I did not in a million years expect the Chester long form to end up like that. Wow, that was even better than the first long form I watched, the Mafia one. Bro, these are cinema. Holy. I was hunted by rich men for entertainment. Bro, this one is gotta be the most out-of-pocket title of all of his videos, so I'm very interested to start this one. Alright, let's start the video. Lock in.
Around sunset, when I curled up on the sidewalk in as many blankets as I could find so I wouldn't freeze. Buffalo winters are rough. A few minutes later, a black...
Buffalo? Isn't that in New York? Are we in the city right now? Hold on, let me get a geography check on this. My geography knowledge was correct. We are in Buffalo, New York.
Mercedes G-Wagon pulled up to the curb, and a man in a cashmere coat rolled down the window and stared at me. "What unit did you serve in?" He could tell I served from my camo-style jacket. I was 2nd Unit Marine Battalion.
I don't think just because someone has camo, they served. Like, bro's homeless. Homeless people will wear anything. Like, it's survival out there in the streets, especially in Buffalo, bro. That's a crazy assumption, but I guess he was right.
Served 11 years and did 3 tours in Iraq. I run a small foundation that places vets into transitional housing. I have some guest cabins up north. I can offer you a bed for the night. Why don't you let me take you over there? My feet were starting to go numb.
Oh, bro, this is gonna be the rich guy that hunts him for entertainment. Nonetheless, he's doing it to veterans. This dude's evil.
Off, so I got in the car. He started driving. His G-Wagon kept climbing up the winding mountain road and finally pulled up to his cabin, which was more like a mansion. He led me in, and I glanced over at his hunting
Bro, that'd be
wall.
so nice to live in a house like this, unrelated. I mean, having a house in itself is nice, but like, bro.
Pulled up to his cabin, which was more like a mansion. He led me in, and I glanced over at his hunting wall and saw several animal heads sticking out. I thought it was strange because he—
Why do old people always have dead animals in their houses? It's so, like, I don't get the appeal, bro. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know if you guys have noticed this with old people, but I definitely have.
Left a thick coat of blood around each of the animals' necks where their heads were severed instead of cleaning it. Charles cooked me a 14-ounce ribeye, poured me a glass of red wine, and sat across from me. We toasted, and I quickly finished off the meal and my wine. I was so blown away by this man's hospitality that I stood up and hugged him. After dinner, he showed me the guest bedroom. "I'll see you in the morning, soldier. Wait until you see what kind of surprise I have for you for breakfast." The sheets and pillows felt like—
Oh no, bro, he's gonna feed him humans. He's gonna feed him humans for sure. No, this has gotta be the thing. He goes on the streets, finds homeless people, veterans, preferably, I guess. He takes them to his home. He gives them hospitality, warmth, all of that, right? In the next morning, he puts them in the Squid Games with the rich people. They hunt them, kill them, serve them to other homeless people, and the cycle repeats itself. if I'm correct on that prediction, this is gonna be a dark video.
White fluffy clouds. I woke up at sunrise to the sound of my door opening and I sprung up, excited. I thought he was about to bring me breakfast in bed. Then Charles and 3 men walked in, each one of them holding different weapons.
Bro!
In all, there were 3 hunting rifles.
He's homeless, bro. I don't think you need 3 other guys all armed with weapons. Like, bro, I think that you're probably good on your own as long as you have a gun. This is a little overkill.
And 1 compound bow. My first thought was, oh man,
Wow.
I hope they have a good rifle for me to join the hunt. Then I felt a shiver run down my spine when I saw Charles pointing his rifle right at my face. Good morning, Jake. Are you ready to be hunted? Yeah, is this—
He's the breakfast! Oh my god. I thought, wow, I guess we're just getting right into it,
some
huh?
kind of joke? Nope, nothing funny about the type of sport we play. I stayed as still as possible, beyond horrified. In the Marines, we learned to cover our emotions, but I was dying inside. I really liked the guy, and that annoying, nagging voice telling me that this was too good to be true was right again. Behind Charles was a beanie-wearing guy that was built like a refrigerator with a compound bow over his shoulder. An older gray-haired man with a shotgun and tactical vest. I take it, you guys have done this before? They all shared a perverted giggle, and Charles got closer to me. Only 26 times before you. You inquired—
Bro, 26 individuals eliminated by this old geezer. Wow. He must be a very hungry man. Wait, I don't even know if they're eating the people. I don't know why I'm making these assumptions. I don't even know if they're eating people or not. That might come later, but that's still my prediction.
about what was in my treasure chest? Trophies of the dead. He said it so proudly. We try to get out at least once a month and place our bets. How much is in the pot? 2 mil. Whoever takes you first, wins. We split it 4 ways if it takes more than one of us. I was morbidly curious. Do you mainly target homeless folks? Charles nodded. They're the easiest to lure in, and I think I'm about done with the questions. Here, he tossed me a pair of work boots.
He's really just telling him all of the intel. Like, that just goes to show... Okay, hold on. Look at bro's shoulders, first of all. What? He's just giving him all the intel. That goes to show he knows for a fact he's about to kill him. This old man's given all of the information. That's gonna go right to the police, buddy. I'm
A
sorry.
wool jacket and a cheap utility knife. You get the basics. We're not complete animals. How about a little breakfast before we start? How about a bullet pancake instead? Time's ticking, you loser bum. Go. Charles clicked his stopwatch. You get a 10-minute head start. I slipped on the boots, grabbed my
Yo, steal the G-Wagon, bro. Steal the G-Wagon.
jacket and sprinted out. Outside, I hit the tree line and noticed a maintenance shed about 40 yards behind Charles's cabin. I went around the cabin in a wide arc through the trees so they couldn't track my footsteps in the snow and came up on the shed from the back. I broke the lock with a fist-sized rock. Inside on a shelf, I found a roll of small paracord rope, a
Oh,
hatchet,
this is very convenient of them to give to
a coil
him.
of 14-gauge electrical wire, binoculars, and a long-handled garden spade. I wrapped all of it in a tarp and slung the bundle over my shoulder. I had 8 minutes left before they started hunting, and I needed to get on higher ground to study them. They thought they were giving me a head start. They were giving me my workshop. I headed north and uphill, into terrain that I could read, and at the very top of the first ridge, I lay flat and watched the cabin through the binoculars. I watched the 4 of them gather their gear, split up, and start the hunt. Charles carried a bolt-action rifle with a
Yo,
scope.
why is he walking right across the ice? Bro, this old man is about to slip and herniate a spinal disc. Lord knows he cannot, like, he does not have the balance to walk across the ice. Is this North Korea, bro? Like, what are we
And he
doing?
moved the way old hunters move, slow, patient, and reading the wind. I could tell that he moved in a relaxed, calm, calculated way, making him the most dangerous of the 4. The older guy with the shotgun moved through the trees like a man who'd spent every November of his adult life in snow country exactly like this. He was also very methodical because he knew he couldn't move like a youngster anymore and relied solely on his strategy.
So, the other guy can move like a youngster? Like, these old geezers gotta go to the retirement home, bro. Like, I don't think they're built for this out in the snow and whatnot. They gotta get some youngins on this game.
Also be a problem and won't act erratically. He was hyped up on energy drinks and coffee and was going to be the easiest simply based on how impulsive he was. The quiet beanie-wearing guy that carried the compound bow approached my position first. He thought that if he was very quiet, I wouldn't ever see him. Man, was he wrong. He closed the distance towards me the fastest, and that impressed me. He tracked my deliberate boot prints up a frozen creek bed about a quarter-mile north of the cabin. That was exactly where I'd wanted him to go. I was luring him into what we used to call the rabbit trap in my unit. I know it well because I got caught in this trap in basics during a training exercise. I saw him steadily approach my position. Then before he got
bow and arrow dude's gotta go first. Like, yo, who gave him this weapon? Everyone else has full guns. This dude's got a little bow and arrow. I feel like that's a sign this dude's about to go out first.
Too close, I rigged a shovel that was tied with a wire between two trees and propped the blade of the shovel pointing at chest height. I covered it with a few branches and leaves, then tied another wire across the—
Bro, what do you think a shovel attached to a string between two trees is possibly going to do? This is the most inconspicuous thing I've ever seen. Like, do you think they're just gonna run into the shovel? What is the plan here? No, I thought this guy had it because he was like an ex-Marine Navy SEAL. Bro, if this is the best you have, you're gonna get hunted, brother.
In front of the shovel at ankle height, so if he stepped across the first wire, the shovel would propel itself into his chest. I made sure
he's not gonna step over the wire. He has eyes, bro.
That my tracks that he was following led him directly into the booby trap. Then, as a backup, just in case the trap failed, my backup was me and my hatchet. I climbed up the nearest tree that was about 5 feet away.
All right, bro. And then what's gonna happen? He's gonna shoot you at the tree because you've got the brightest, most gingery hair known to man. So you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Bro, they have ranged weapons. What is hiding in the tree gonna do for you? You're just gonna get shot, bro.
And waited for him. He worked his way up the snow-covered hill and was just about to take a step across the wire, but he stopped cold and saw it stretched below him. I was impressed. The guy had a smart hunter's awareness. I realized that I had to act fast, so I leapt down towards him with my hatchet raised high. He twisted towards me at the last split second and got one shot off with the bow at point blank.
What did I say? Of course he's gonna see. Okay, hold on. Yo, hold on. What is this pause? Yo, let's assess the situation. How is he going to jump from that distance with a hatchet, go over the shovel, and land on this guy? That's probably roughly a 50 feet jump. All right, let's see you execute this, bro. If you can do this, you are Captain America.
Range. The tip of the arrow barely grazed me across the left side of my ribs. I slammed the hatchet down into the side of his neck. He dropped his bow, keeled over in the snow, and clutched onto his wound. He coughed and choked up blood that sprinkled the snow.
There's no way, bro. He just did the Call of Duty Black Ops dolphin dive maneuver off the tree in real life.
Took his last few breaths and died staring directly at me in shock. I always liked it better when the enemy fired at me first, with the intentions of killing me.
Oh my, yo, this dude's a menace. What does that mean, bro? All right, to the little jits that don't know Call of Duty in the chat, this is what he just did. He did the dolphin dive out of the tree. He literally went meters into the distance and then killed him like that.
It made me feel a lot better when I took them out in retaliation. I still get haunted by the ones that hesitated and never fired at me. This first asshole was easy work. I checked to make sure the others weren't anywhere near, then grabbed a handful of snow and packed my wound. Snow is natural ice and perfect for this type of injury. I stuffed strips of my t-shirt into it and bound it with paracord. It was bleeding through my makeshift bandage wrap in less than 2 minutes. I took his compound bow, his arrows, his lighter, his hunting knife, his radio, and his jacket. I put it on over my own. The dead man's radio crackled in my ear, and Charles's voice came through. "Walcott, check in." "Walcott?" I chimed in. "Walcott's not here right now. Go ahead and leave a message and I'll be sure to give it to him." "Oh wait, he's a little busy right now, down in hell getting rammed in the ass by Satan." The silence on the other end was thrilling.
Bro! Yo, I did not need to have that image put into my head.
For me. 1 down, 3 to go, shitheads. I hiked half a mile east.
All right, why do they censor that but not what he just said? Like, he just said something way more vile and heinous than just a little swear word, and they choose to censor that. Yeah, I ain't following how they censor these videos.
Cut's body and dragged it about 60 yards uphill to a pine tree with a clear sight line down into a ravine. So much of this game is about planting questions in their heads. What's real? What's a distraction? Where is the attack coming from? Creating that unpredictability is what separates the pros from the amateurs. I propped his body up, sat him down against a tree, and arranged his arms to look like he was a man taking a break. I put his hat on his head and threaded.
This is dark. This is twisted. He's turned him into a puppet. Oh my. It's kind of smart, though. It's kind of
length
smart.
of paracord through his sleeve and ran it 60 feet down the slope to where I was going to be, so I could twitch his arm from a distance and make a corpse look like a wounded man trying to raise his arm and signal for help. Then I clicked on Walcott's radio, and in my best older man voice, "It's Walcott. I need help. I'm injured." I doubted they would believe that transmission, but I wanted to give away my position, especially to Marsh. I had a hunch he would want to a hero, and I was giving him that opportunity. Then I hid in some thick bushes and waited. Like I thought, Victor Marsh approached me fast. He had used his scope to see Walcott's
Oh, the little jit. Yep, he's gonna fall for it for sure. This kid's a newbie.
body and wanted to be a hero, so he stormed in to save the day. Way to go, Superman, you idiot. He stopped about 20 feet in front of Walcott and realized
Yo, do the
he was dead,
hand-waving maneuver. He's gonna realize it's a dead body, bro. You gotta do the hand-waving maneuver.
and that this might be a trap. I aimed Walcott's compound bow and fired an arrow at his head. At the last split second, he turned to me and ducked. The arrow grazed the top of his head.
Okay, what was the point of putting the wire around the guy's hand if you're not even gonna use that method,
Taking
bro?
off a chunk of his hair and the skin on the top of his scalp. He yelped out in agony and turned red with rage. I loaded up another arrow into the bow, looked up and saw that he was gone. A small trail of his blood led towards a cave. It was now time for me to become the hunter. I quietly made my way towards the entrance and saw the blood specks lead inside. Based on how impulsive I knew he'd be, I grabbed a rock and tossed it into the cave and heard him fire off 2 gunshots.
Yo, at a rock, bro. At a rock, really.
Itchy trigger finger anyone. Then I thought, "Shit, that might alert the others, so I needed to be quick about this." His hollow voice came out from inside the tunnel cave. "I bet you think you're pretty slick."
So you just gotta hit a quick little peek, like Valorant, you know? You get your gun, you just do a little, or like Rainbow Six Siege, just like a little in and out. Do a quick little one, load the bow, doo. Take him out like that, brother.
Don't you? I did give you one hell of a blood-soaked mohawk. I missed my calling. I knew I should have been a barber. And you may want to consider going on America as top model with that look, pal. You're real funny. I was the class clown in high school. I knew his nerves would seriously be on edge.
He's
now,
always got
so I found
something
another
to
rock,
say, huh?
tossed it into the cave and rushed in on the opposite side and slid on my knees. That way, if he was looking at eye level, he would have to take the extra beat to look down, and by then, I would have gotten off my shot. When I entered, I saw him aiming his rifle.
You're gonna enter the cave without loading the bow when this guy has a gun. Okay.
Across the way from me, but was surprised at how quick he was when he whipped his rifle to face me. At the exact same time, we both fired our weapons. His rifle caught me across the right
It's
side
going for the D! It's going for the D!
of my thigh as
That went right into the hole, bro. Oh my god. That went right between his legs into his D. Good lord.
my arrow stuck directly through his eye socket and out of the back of his head. He dropped to his knees, trembled, and died. I heard his radio go on with Charles checking in. "Marsh, you there? Come in. Marsh?" I grabbed the radio. "Hey there, this is Marsh's executioner. He's unavailable right now due to being overly anxious and just being an all-around c**k. Go ahead and leave a message and he'll never get back."
Yo, this guy really has a one-liner for every single little thing that happens to him.
To you. Once again, the silence was wonderful. Then Charles still had to ask, "Blanchard, you good?" I don't care if he hears me. The gray-haired man, that must have been Blanchard, chimed in. "Yeah, radio silent. Repeat, radio silent." Aw, come on guys. We were all having such a lovely conversation. Charles couldn't help himself. "I can't wait to see the look on that smug, arrogant face of yours when I blow your fucking brains out, you little piece of shit. What happened to caring about those that serve this country, you corrupt rich prick? I don't give a shit about any of you. That's the most honest thing you've said. Come and get me, guys. I'm waiting for you." I hung up and took off around a snowy bend. I realized that these last two men were clearly the ones that built this twisted game and had successfully taken out many.
You're not gonna take the gun, bruh? You're gonna just keep rolling with the bow? Alright.
Men before me. I had to find cover fast because I was now bleeding from two places. I took Marsh's Glock, 3 bullet magazines, and his AR-15 rifle that had an
Okay, this is free. The other guys have shotguns, bro. You have an ACOG sight fully automatic M16. Like, I think that it's wraps at this point. You can outrange the enemy combatants with ease. Lock in.
Some scope on it. I rushed towards a small tree cover, dug into some brush, built another small fire, and tried to stitch up my thigh, but was failing and had lost a lot of blood. I looked out over the edge of the cliff and saw Blanchard quickly approaching my position. He was tracking the specks of blood I was leaving behind. My bandages could only do so much. He was a lot smarter and more careful than the other two. He never put himself in a vulnerable position, which meant I needed to be a lot more strategic if I wanted to take him out. If Blanchard was getting close, that only meant Charles was also nearby. I can only assume they would both be trying to trap me in from opposite sides. That's what disciplined hunters would do. Then I put together a plan for him where I would use myself as the bait. He's old, and I needed to take advantage of those brittle bones. I needed to draw him out to where the terrain is rough, and he can't get around as easy. I ran to an area of trees where I would want him to use his scope and spot me. Hopefully that would make him think he has me. I stood beside a tree, giving him just enough of my back so he can spot where I am, without it looking like I'm doing it on purpose. I used Marsh's scope from his AR-15 and could see Blanchard holding a corner of his sleeve loose against his cheek. He did that so he could test the wind and see if he could take a shot at me from where he was. I knew that if I shot at him from where I was, I didn't have a chance, so I waited. I wanted his old ass to make his way through this steep, snowy terrain where it's really easy to lose footing. I watched him through the scope as he aimed towards me, and he was definitely thinking about taking.
Why don't you just pull the trigger, bro? You've got his dit in sight. Like, just pull the trigger and it's wraps. He's got a shotgun. He can't do anything. Why doesn't he just like kill him right now?
A shot. He decided that he couldn't, lowered his rifle and struggled to make his way up towards me. I started cutting into the base of a smaller-sized spruce tree with the hunting knife and got it right to the point where it was just about to
Alright, so we're playing Minecraft now. Why are you chopping down a freaking tree, bro? Why are we freaking chopping down a tree, bro?
fall. He made his way closer, saw me, and fired a shot at my head. The bullet whizzed by my ear. I ran and hid behind another tree and was hoping to use the falling spruce tree as a distraction that would hopefully give me a clean shot at him. He was looking old and wobbly as he stepped through uneven snow and got closer and closer. I saw the spruce tree starting to snap, crackle, buckle, and fall. I looked at Blanchard and saw him searching for me through his scope. Then he got too excited when he saw me, quickly stepped about 10 feet from my position and tripped onto the ground. As he landed—
No, okay, yeah, no, bro, don't tell me the tree. The inconspicuous rock in the inconspicuous tree perfectly falling at the perfect time, bro. Are we serious?
Face first, the spruce tree fell directly on—
See, I feel like his old bones would die from the rock just falling on the ground regardless. I feel like the tree is overkill for this geezer.
top of his back and pinned him face down in the snow. I walked over to him. His back was broken in 2 places, and he was wheezing, which meant his lungs had collapsed from the weight of the tree. He had dropped his shotgun nearby.
Yo, those noises. Do you hear those noises?
And looked up at me. You need to help me. I'm a county judge and I have grandkids that rely on me. I laughed. Why do you think you're so much better than anyone else? Because I just am. Dust and bone. No matter how rich or poor, we all end up the same. But you're turning to dust quicker than I am. I demand you to help me. I am your elder, for crying out loud. That makes what you and your pals do that much worse, asshole. You take advantage of your power and deserve everything you're getting. I mean, shit, you're getting off easy. You should see what I have in store for your pal. He snarled, then quickly—
Ooh. Hear me out. The shovel in the wire's gonna come back. That's gonna take out the final combatant. If that happens, cinema.
tried to reach for his shotgun. I stepped on his wrist and blew his head off like an exploding watermelon. I rarely got—
Bro! Oh my! So they're gonna have that happen in the video and censor a swear word. Okay, bro.
a lot of satisfaction from killing, but that one gave me the tingly winglies.
The tingly winglies? What did he say in the last video? The, like, huggy wuggies? The fuzzy willies? Like, why does he always, like, have these goody two-shoes little, like, what is the word? Onomatopoeias for his feelings. It's kind of a silly reoccurring thing in these videos, huh?
started feeling really weak and woozy from blood loss and very little water. Plus, my adrenaline was waning. I searched his pack for any supplies and saw that he was out of water and had no food. I needed to somehow refuel and tend to my wounds. I didn't see Charles anywhere, which made me nervous because I knew he was watching me from somewhere. I came around the edge of a ridge, maybe a half a mile away from a lake at the bottom of his property, and I found a hunter's shed hidden behind tree cover. I very carefully aimed my gun, kicked the door open, and saw no one. I checked for booby traps and cleared it. Charles had built this place, probably for his previous hunting games. Inside, there was a small propane heater, a thermos of coffee that had gone cold, and a granola bar. I ate it fast and warmed.
Perfect! Oh my god. Who would have thought a granola bar on the table? Surely that's not a trap.
My hands. The radio in my pocket clicked on with Charles's cracked, troubled voice. I bet you think you're pretty special, killing an old, fragile man like that. Now that's comical. You assholes poked the hornet's nest and now you're the victim. Karma's coming for you, and it's going to be a slow, torturous death. He let out a guttural yell, and my plan to make him lose his composure was working brilliantly. But I still had to be very careful. He'd been a hunter for 40 years and built this sick game. He was patient, disciplined, and had a rifle that could put a bullet hole through a quarter from 300 yards away. And he'd had the entire morning to watch me work. He knew everything I'd done because he'd just watched me do it. He'd probably been 300 yards away the whole time, letting me take out the others. Then I remembered an old training exercise in the Marines we used to call the rat trap. I went outside, looked around, and didn't see him.
The rat trap. What could this mean? I think he's gonna put out a little piece of cheese to lure him into it and shoot him dead. What else would the rat trap be?
I needed to quickly set up my trap, so I started collecting wood and set up a tripwire 5 inches above the ground across the cabin door to be a decoy for something much worse. I laid out a few blood trickles so it would look like I went into the cabin. I spoke into the radio. I found your cabin. Why don't you be a f***ing man and come down here and face me? I'd love to. I quickly snuck out about 30 yards outside of the cabin and climbed up a tree onto a small perch so I had the higher ground, and I patiently waited. Several hours went by and I knew he was planning an attack. Then I heard footsteps approaching and saw him heading towards the back of the cabin.
Could you not just shoot him here, bro? Like, he wants to do these Looney Tunes traps every time. Like, you have a gun. You don't need to use a tripwire and shovels and bananas and all that, bro.
With his rifle aimed. Since he chose to go around to the back, I didn't have a clean shot at him. Hats off to him. That was smart.
I see.
Luckily, I didn't plan my attack from inside the cabin. He might have gotten the drop on me. He searched inside the cabin, and then I watched him step out front. That's when I knew I had him. He looked down and saw the tripwire, shook his head and laughed. I expected that. I left the wire out in the open on purpose. That's when I aimed directly for the trap below his feet with my rifle. All I had to do was hit the wooden trap and it would catapult sharp wooden spikes into his midsection. I aimed and fired. To my surprise, I missed, which gave up my position. The reason I missed was because—
Bro, how you gonna throw in a situation like this, bro? Bad aim.
At that point, my hands were freezing and the cold was making them tremble. It took everything in me to hold them as steady as I could. He took 2 shots at me, which made me fall out of the tree, bounce on some hard ground, and bust 3 of my ribs. I stood up, sucked in a huge breath, quickly aimed my rifle again at the trap near his feet, and fired. I nailed it. The sharp wooden spikes—
Where did this come from? Oh my god. Look at this guy. He's been impaled with dozens of sticks. Where did this come from, bro? Oh my god. No, I need to see that again. Let me see that one more time to see exactly what just happened.
Quickly aimed my rifle again at the trap near his feet and fired. I nailed—
So you're telling me this trap was sitting here the whole time. He didn't see this. He's standing in front of it and somehow shooting this with a bullet can launch them this hard.
The sharp wooden spikes catapulted up into his stomach and pinned him against the front wall of his small cabin. His whole body went limp, yet he was still suspended by the splintered wood. He had dropped his rifle and stared down, horrified. I walked over as he was spitting up blood. His head was drooping down, and he looked up at me with his cold eyes.
Bro is still alive? No, he's Eren Yeager. This old man right here in this video is literally this moment in Attack on Titan, where he was impaled by a stick and still alive somehow. But Eren's a Titan. This is just an old man. Don't tell me he's about to turn into a shape-shifting Titan, bro. That would be a crazy twist.
Congratulations. You win. I didn't win shit. But guess what? You just won a life sentence of eating through a straw in prison. He stared at me, confused. What the hell are you talking
I don't think he's gonna live, bro. There is multiple inch radius holes through his entire body.
about? I'll be dead within minutes. Nope. Try moving anything below your neck. He tried and was comically unsuccessful. Those wooden spikes caught your spine, and the way your body and neck is slumped over right now suggests complete paralysis from the neck down. I've seen it before. It slowly dawned on him that I was right, and he begged, please, kill me. I'll do anything. I'll give you millions. How do you want it? Cash? Cars? Yacht? Don't make me suffer for the rest of my life. I'll give you whatever you want. I'm not for sale, dickwad. I kneeled down in front of him. Get a good long look at me, asshole. Remember my face is the man that ended you and all of your friends.
I don't think he can see you through all the sticks, bro. I don't think that that's a good vantage point for him. He's probably just seeing poles coming out of his body.
Started crying like the bitch-ass loser that he is. I walked away, radioed the police, and told them the truth. After a thorough investigation, they concluded that I had the right to self-defense, and Charles spent life in a prison hospital being fed prison food through a straw. The VA got their act together and gave me enough money so I could get a place down in Florida on the beach. Plus, I can work
from New York to Florida. What an upgrade.
construction down here all year round. F the cold.
Wow. Well, that was cool, bro. Bro, the strategies that he used in this video were so comically over the top. That was hilarious. Oh my god. That was definitely better than the first video I watched. I don't know if it tops the Chester one, though. That's going to be my tier list. The Mafia one, then this one, then the Chester one. That's the order of operations, boys. That's the tier list. Never defend The Quiet Kid, because I just received a comment that said I should watch it. It's insane. So thank you, Spider-Man. Never defend The Quiet Kid. This is a crazy first frame. This one's about to be peak.
I was walking to second period when I saw the cheerleading captain Madison slam a girl into the lockers. The girl hit the metal hard, and her binder fell open, causing her papers to go everywhere. The girl was small, and her hair was greasy.
Yo, that girl is not small, bro. That looks like a bodybuilder. What? Bro, they always give the characters in these stories insane, like, shoulders and biceps.
Greasy, and she was trying to pick up her papers without crying, while Madison was laughing and recording the whole thing. I walked over and shouted, "Madison, back off. Oh, Hudson, you're such a hero." She mocked me, and then walked away. But I didn't care. I just knelt down and helped the girl pick up her papers. "Are you okay?" I asked. She nodded without looking at me. "What's your name?" I asked her. She whispered it so quietly, I almost didn't hear her. "Bertha." I smiled. "Well, Bertha, you didn't deserve that. You..."
Big Bertha, that's what we'll call her, bro. Why is she built like an MMA fighter? Oh my god, and they named her Bertha too, like, are we for real?
Seem like a nice person. Madison's the one with the problem, not you. Don't let her ruin your day. She looked at me for the first time. "Thank you. I won't forget this. I won't forget you," she said shakily.
Okay, this is definitely a false sense of security, judging by the title of this video, Never Defend the Quiet Kid. Like, bro, what is this girl gonna do to this man?
Tried to ignore how weird that made me feel. I just gave her a small nod and said, "Have a good day," then walked off to second period before the bell rang. But when I checked my locker later that day, there was a note in there that said, "I'll never forget what you did. Yours
B." Oh
be."
no, she's gonna be freaky, bro. The note, I mean, this is, I won't forget this, I won't forget you. Yours be? Putting yours at the end? Bro, this girl's about to be freaky. She's about to be completely obsessed with this guy from that one interaction. I'm already predicting that from the get-go. Let's see if it's correct.
I thought it was weird, but shrugged it off and put it in my backpack because I figured she was just grateful. And then I went to lunch and sat down at my usual table with my best friend Andre and 3 other guys from the football team. But before I could even start eating, Bertha sat down in the empty seat next to me and put her—
Wait, that's kind of aura, to just sit down at the table. I kind of respect the gumption of Big Bertha here. All right.
hand on top of mine. "Hi, baby. I was thinking about you."
Baby! Oh yeah, no, my prediction is about to be 100% correct about this girl. Oh my god.
The whole table went quiet, but she just smiled at me like we'd been doing this for years. I pulled my hand back and she looked confused. I spoke to her softly. "Hey Bertha, I think you have the wrong idea. I was just trying to help out and I have a girlfriend." She patted my shoulder and stood up. "Babe, you don't have to pretend in front of your friends." She walked off before I could—
What is this, bro? He's got a lady. Okay, also side note, bro's shirt just says his. What kind of t-shirt is that, bro?
Respond, and Andre stared at me. Bro, what was that? I don't know, I said, feeling uneasy about the whole thing. I didn't think about Bertha after that until I was 10 minutes into football practice, and I heard someone screaming my name from the bleachers. Let's go, Hudson. That's my man. You got this, baby. I knew that voice before I even turned around. Bertha was on the 4th row of the bleachers holding a sign that said, my number—
Yo, Spider-Man, I don't know what you were doing in my comments recommending this one, Spider-Man, but you have probably given me the freakiest his story, story of all time right here. We're 2 minutes into this video, and this girl is already madly in love with him. Yo, if you're in the comment section of this video, again, just tell me, what did you see in this video that was so peak, bro? Do you just, want to have a freaky girl fall in love with you? Why was this the one that you told me to watch, bro? Oh my god.
1, go baby go, cheering like she was at the state championship. Andre jogged up next to me and elbowed me in the ribs. Bro, you got a fan. I just face-palmed and a couple of the guys started laughing. One of them even whistled at her. Another one yelled toward the bleachers.
Yo. What's up with this guy? Does he not look a little bit insane? I've seen these character models in previous videos. This guy's a newcomer. I never seen this phenotype of human before.
Yo, who are you? You here for our boy? Bertha cupped her hands around her mouth and yelled back, I'm his girlfriend. The whole offensive line lost it. They were doubled over laughing, slapping each other, pointing at me. One of them said, damn Hudson, what happened to Lauren? While Andre asked, bro, what is happening? She's not my girlfriend, I yelled, stressed out of my mind now. Lauren and I are still together. I don't know that girl. Everyone went silent, and I jogged over toward the bleachers because I had to shut this down before it got back to Lauren. Bertha was already leaning over the railing, beaming at me. Bertha, you can't tell people we're dating. You know I have a girlfriend. She just laughed like I'd said something adorable. Babe, relax. They were just playing. I'm not embarrassing you, I promise. I stared at her, wondering how I was saying one thing, but she was hearing something else. And then Coach blew his whistle from the field.
Bro, what do you even do in this situation if a girl, thinks you're dating her and she just won't take no for an answer? You gotta get a restraining order at that point, bro. Cause, you don't know what she's capable of. I could skip 10 minutes into this video and we see the main character in a body bag dead behind his house in a dumpster. Get a restraining order on this girl.
Hudson, get back here. What are you doing? I sighed heavily and jogged back to the line with my hands shaking. By the time we hit the showers, I had a headache so bad I could barely see straight, and it got worse the second I checked my phone because Lauren had already texted 17 times. Hudson, what the hell? Nala just sent me a video of some girl in your bleachers holding a sign saying she's your number one. Why is she there? Why is she saying that? Babe, I'm trying not to spiral, but this is really messing with me. I don't know what to think. Call me the second you're done.
Wow, wait, W girlfriend, she's giving him the benefit of the doubt before she jumps to any conclusions. You gotta keep Lauren no matter what, bro. I'm rooting for this relationship.
The air went out of my chest, and I stared at the screen wondering how I was going to explain Bertha to Lauren. But I called her the second I got in my car and told her I was a wreck and asked if she could meet me. A few minutes later, she was in the parking lot and I hugged her tightly. Babe, what is going on? Lauren asked shakily. I pulled back and told her everything, and when I was done, she put her hand on the side of my face. Hudson, I believe you. I just needed to hear it from you. We're gonna figure this out together. I love—
She's so— oh my god, why do I burp every time I talk? Bro. She's such a good girlfriend. You gotta marry this woman.
Love you. I hugged her again, and I realized I needed support right now. We sat in my car for 20 minutes talking about everything except Bertha.
Yo, Bertha— okay, never mind. I thought her head was gonna come up in the dash of the car. Imagine she just comes up here. That would be horrifying.
By the time she had to leave for her shift at the cafe, I felt like I could breathe again. But when I got home and walked into the kitchen, Bertha was standing at the counter.
What, bro? She's in your home.
Next to my mom, and they were laughing like they'd known each other for years. There was even a casserole dish between them, and the second mom saw me, her face lit up. Hudson, honey, Bertha was just telling me she finally got the courage to come introduce herself. I can't believe you've been hiding her from me. She's such a doll.
Does your mom not know that you have a girlfriend, brother? Have you not introduced your girlfriend to your mom at this point?
Bertha looked at me over my mom's shoulder and gave me a little wave. I was just telling your mom about the cabin trip we were thinking about for spring break. I felt the headache from earlier come right back. Mom, I've never planned a cabin trip with her. I don't know her. Please don't let her in this house again. The kitchen went silent. Bertha's bottom lip started shaking and her eyes filled with tears. She put a hand over her mouth and a small sob came out. Hudson, why are you doing this? Why are you saying these things in front of your mom?
This is all performative for the mom. I've seen this situation before. I've been in a situation just like this one. Hear me out, fellas. Hear me out. When I was in high school, there was a girl that wanted to date me really badly. And I was too much of a chicken to say no to her. I'm not gonna lie. That was my fault, right? And so this went on every single day for a week. She'd be like, do you want to date me? And I'd be like, I don't know, let me think about it, which is an L move on my part, but you know what? That was in the past. But I thought she would get the hint eventually. I was like, maybe if I just keep, dragging this, she'll get the hint. I was just too afraid to say no. Let that be a lesson. Don't be afraid to set boundaries and say no to people. But regardless, after a week, I gave in, and then I ended up dating her because I was like, I never had a girlfriend before, so, I might as well see what this whole girlfriend thing is about. That was a terrible mistake, and I learned from that. You do not want to get into a relationship that you don't want to be in, bro. There's a little bit of Ninja lore for you, but this is reminding me of that situation I went through when I was a senior in high school, bro.
I didn't do anything. She started crying for real now, and her shoulders actually shook. Mom instantly believed her and pulled her into a hug and rubbed her back. Shh, sweetheart. It's okay. It's okay. He's just stressed about football. You know how boys are. But then
why is the mom defending her? Bro. Come on. What? The mom is doing assists for the crazy girlfriend for no reason.
And she glared at me over Bertha's shoulder. Hudson Walker, what is wrong with you? This girl drove all the way over here and made you dinner and you're going to embarrass her like that. In my house, you're better than this. I opened my mouth, but my mom held up her hand to stop me. No, I don't want to hear it. You're grounded. Go to your room. You can come back down.
Grounded. Yo, I'm starting to believe the mom is a paid actor from this girl. What if this isn't even his real mom? What if she has cloned his mom to create an agent that will push her agenda to date this man? Because there's no way that the mom is gonna be supporting her before her son in this situation.
When you're ready to apologize. I stood there for a second, staring at my own mother, holding the girl who'd been stalking me for 2 days while she told me I was the problem. And then Bertha peeked at me, and I swear to God she was smiling. But since I clearly lost, I went upstairs and shut my door and sat on the floor while my hands wouldn't stop shaking. I didn't know what I was supposed to do tomorrow when I had to see Bertha at school again. The only thing keeping me from completely losing it was knowing Lauren still believed me. But the next morning, I woke up to something on my pillow. I picked it up and saw it was a Polaroid of me sleeping. On the bottom in black Sharpie it said, "Don't be sad, baby. She shouldn't have grounded you." I sat straight up and the picture fell into my lap. Bertha had been in my room. Bertha had stood.
Yo, that is... One thing is to take a photo of a person while they're sleeping. Another thing is to do it as a physical Polaroid and put it on them to see when they wake up. No, this is demented, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is demented. This is actually... And this is gonna be traumatizing for this man, bro. Oh. It's too similar to my situation!
Over my bed with a camera while I was unconscious and taken a picture of me. I felt like I was going to throw up, and the worst part was I couldn't even tell Mom because after last night she would think I was making it up. So instead, I drove to the hardware store after school and bought a deadbolt and a new lock for my window and a motion sensor I could stick on my windowsill.
Yo, I don't think that that's the type of thing that goes on a window, bro. I think that goes on a door, bro.
I installed all of it and even tested every lock 5 times. I got into bed thinking I would be safe, but the next morning there was a new Polaroid sitting face up on my pillow. My hands shook as I looked at it because this time it was a picture of Lauren sleeping in her bed taken from inside her room.
She won't bother us after today. Oh no, bro, she's gonna get killed.
Bertha even wrote, "She won't bother us after today." I jolted out of bed. My chest was heaving and I couldn't breathe. I immediately caught Lauren, but it went straight to voicemail, so I texted her, "Lauren, pick up, Bertha was in your room last night. Call me right now." And then I grabbed my car keys and ran out the house. I was speeding the whole way to Lauren's house, and I tried calling her again, but it went to voicemail again. By the time I arrived, I saw Lauren's front door was wide open, so I left my car and ran inside. I heard Lauren crying from upstairs, so I took the stairs 2 at a time and ran into her bedroom, and Bertha was standing there while Lauren was on the floor by the—
What? She's dyed her hair. She's turning into the Joker. Wait, she's trying to make herself look like him, so she became Ginger. And she beat up the other girlfriend. Yo, you gotta kill her at this point. Like, at this point, you gotta just get a gun and finish the job. What? Spider-Man, why this one?
foot of the bed. Lauren's nose was bleeding, and her right eye was already swelling shut, and her hair was a mess, and she was sobbing. I clenched my fists, trying hard to control my anger. Bertha looked up at me, and she got so happy. Hudson, oh thank God you're here. She just wouldn't listen to me. I tried to be nice. I really did. I didn't bother looking at her and just knelt down next to Lauren and tried to look at her face, but she flinched. Babe, it's me. I hugged her while Bertha screamed, Hudson, let her go, I said.
Wait, why did her hair color just change? It just went back to the original color. No. Wait, what? Was that an animation error, or is she a shapeshifter? Bro, I guess my theory is not correct.
I said, I'm gonna call 911 right now, but Lauren grabbed my wrist with her shaking hand. No, don't. Just get her out. Hudson, please, just get her out of my house. And so I stood up and grabbed Bertha's arm and started pulling her toward the door. Hudson, baby, what are you doing? Why are you mad at me? I did this for us. I rolled my eyes and dragged her down the stairs and out the front door and shoved her down onto the porch. Bertha, if you ever touch her again, come near her again, or even say her name again, I will end you. Do you
I will end you? Bro, oh my God. Yes, okay, no, that's good. That's extreme, but extreme situations call for extreme boundaries. Let this woman know her place. She ain't dating you, bro.
Understand me? She was standing on the porch looking up at me confused. Baby, you're scaring me. I did this so we could be together. Why are you talking to me like this? Get out of here. I should have never stopped Madison that day. She stood there for another second, like she was waiting for me to apologize, but I just slammed the door in her face and ran back upstairs. Lauren had already pulled herself up against the side of her bed, and she was holding a tissue against her nose. Babe, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna take you to the hospital. Hudson, no, she said, making me stop in my tracks. I woke up and she was sitting on the edge of my bed watching me. She knows where—
That's so creepy. Bro, I used to imagine that when I was a kid, but instead of a lady at the edge of my bed, I thought it would be Freddy Fazbear. Literally. That's the most scary situation you can imagine, is you wake up and someone is just at your bed like that. And a human, let alone a human, is probably scarier than Freddy Fazbear, because, like, that's actually real. Freddy Fazbear is not real. Sorry to break it to you if you thought he was real, but that's horror.
Where I live. I don't think I can do this anymore. I didn't say anything. I couldn't because I knew right then and there that I lost Lauren. I just didn't want to be the one to say it out loud. Hudson, just go home, please, she said weakly. I stood up slowly and walked out the front door, then got in my car and drove home. The next day at school felt like walking into a different world because half the school wasn't looking at me while the rest were giving me dirty looks. I tried to ask one of my friends at lunch what was going on, and he just said, I don't want to get involved, man. I ended up—
Yo, this burger, bro. This burger, and look at, that's him again on the left. This kid's like 4 feet tall. What do you mean you don't want to get involved, bro? Just spill the beans, bro.
Walking past Madison on the way to lunch, and she pointed and laughed at me. Heard you finally showed your true colors, hero. Her friends laughed with her, and they kept walking. I didn't even know what she meant by that. Then 2 of my teammates passed me in the hallway after 6th period and didn't say anything. I finally caught up to Andre after classes and asked him what was going on. Bro, people are saying you hit Lauren yesterday. They're saying—
That's the twist? Oh my God, can Lauren not just say that's not true, bro? Like, why would they believe the crazy girl in this situation of, like, why do people believe this?
You've been losing it all week. I don't want to get involved, man. He walked off before I could say anything. As if things couldn't get any worse, Coach pulled me into his office during practice. Hudson, I'm gonna be straight with you. Parents are calling. The recruiter from state is calling. I have to bench you until all this gets sorted out. I'm sorry, son. I nodded because—
These videos are just like try not to get rage baited challenges. Like they get you invested in a story and then everything just crumbles before your eyes. And it's always the most insane villain known to man. Like this is actually just rage baiting me right now. Why don't people act with any kind of rationale in this world?
There was nothing left to say. I sat in my car in the parking lot for 10 minutes, staring at the steering wheel, because Bertha had just taken football away from me. I finally turned the car on to go home, but when I pulled into my driveway, I saw Bertha through the front window sitting on my couch with my little sister Hazel cuddling up against her. I felt a headache coming in immediately as I walked through the front door, and then I saw Hazel was crying. "Hudson," Hazel said with a small voice, "did you really hurt your girlfriend?" "Hazel, I didn't hurt anybody. Whatever Bertha told you is a lie." Bertha stroked Hazel's hair and smiled innocently. "I've just been telling Hazel the truth about who her brother really is."
Bro, how do you even know who Hazel is? She probably thinks you're a stranger that just broke into her house. Why is she believing this, bro? This is all just rage bait.
She deserves to know. Hazel curled in closer to Bertha and looked up at her like Bertha was the only thing keeping her safe. "Hazel, go upstairs, now," I said, but Hazel didn't move. Instead, she looked at Bertha for permission, and when Bertha nodded, Hazel got off the couch and went to her room. I was disgusted, but didn't say anything until I heard Hazel's bedroom door close. "Get out of my house, Bertha." I was fed up at this point. She stood up and walked up to me until she was inches from my face. "Your mom said I could be here so you can't kick me out, sweetie." She went to kiss my cheek, but I stepped back, and she smiled sadly. "I'll see you soon, Hudson." She walked out the front door while I stood in the living room shaking. I realized Bertha couldn't take Hazel away from me too, so I went to my room, opened my laptop, and started looking for anything I could find on Bertha that I could use against her. I instantly found her home address, but when I pulled up to it, the windows were boarded over, and there was yellow tape across the front door and a notice from the city stapled to the porch.
Oh, she's homeless. That's the lore. She's literally homeless.
It was obvious nobody had lived there in a long time. I was sitting in my car staring at it when an older woman came out of the house next door and knocked on my window. "You looking for somebody, honey?" she asked me. "I'm looking for Bertha." The woman's face softened. "Honey, that poor child hasn't lived here in over a year. What happened to her?" "CPS came and took her. Her mama wasn't fit to raise nobody. She's in and out of jail now." "Where is Bertha now?" The woman shrugged. "She bounces around. Sometimes sleeps at the laundromat when they leave the back door open." I thanked her and drove back home, where I instantly pulled up every social media account Bertha had. It was normal at first with pictures of food and sunsets, but then I found an account of hers that felt more like a public diary. The first entry was from the day I helped her in the hallway. "He saved me from Madison today."
Who's posting this stuff publicly, bro? Why are you posting this publicly, Bertha? Yo. He saved me from Madison today. His name is Hudson. He is the one. I just know it. Like, what are you doing to write that out physically on a paper, take a picture of it, publicly post it? Bro.
"His name is Hudson. He's the one. I just know it." The next day she wrote, "He pretended not to know me at lunch. It's okay. He's nervous. We have time." Every single day after had a new entry with conversations we never had and photos of me she'd secretly taken. There was a list of baby names for our kids, a boy named Theo and a girl named Margot. A countdown to graduation captioned, "That's when I'll tell him I'm ready." The entry from this morning sent shivers down my spine because it was a picture of me sleeping with the deadbolt visible behind me, and the caption underneath said, "He's getting more careful, but he doesn't have to be. I'll always find him because that's what love is." I stared at it in disgust and decided enough was enough, and so I printed every page. When Monday morning came, I walked into the counselor's office, put the folder on her desk, and asked her to call Bertha in. Bertha came in a few minutes later smiling at us like we were meeting up for coffee. She sat down in the chair next to mine and reached for my hand, but I pulled it away. "Baby, don't be like that," she pouted. "Bertha, I went to your house yesterday," I told her, and her pout instantly disappeared. Her smile stayed on her face, but her eyes went somewhere else. I opened the folder and showed her the picture of the boarded-up house. "Nobody lives here. Nobody's lived here in over a year." She glanced at it and laughed a small laugh. "Hudson, that's not my house. You went to the wrong address. Your neighbor knew who you were when I asked about you." "Well, she lied. That's not my house." I ignored her obvious lies. "Your mom is in jail. CPS took you out of that house, so now you sleep in a laundromat." "I know all of it, Bertha." Her smile started cracking. "Who told you that?" "Hudson. Who told you that?" "That neighbor doesn't know what she's talking about. My mom is at home. My mom is at home making dinner right now." "Bertha, your mom is in jail." "My mom is at home." She said it louder. "My mom is at home, Hudson. She's making dinner. She's making the chicken thing she always makes. Stop it." But I—
The chicken thing, bro. The chicken thing. What are you eating at home if the meal that your mom makes is the chicken thing? Yo, at this point, I think this girl's so crazy, she's lying to herself. Like, she's just trying to convince herself that her reality is not the case. You know what I mean? I think she's trying to just lie to herself at the end of the day.
I didn't stop. I took out the printed diary entries and laid them down on the desk one by one. The first entry, the second, the graduation countdown, the baby names, the picture of me asleep with the deadbolt behind me. Bertha's eyes followed each page, and her mouth started moving without making sound. Her eyes had tears in them, and her cheeks were red, but she was smiling like nothing was wrong. Oh, I see what this is. She started laughing. You read my journal. Hudson, you read my journal. That was so private, baby.
Bro, it's on a public Instagram account that you posted. Are we on God?
I didn't know you were such a snoop. She laughed harder, and then the laugh caught in her throat, and her face crumpled, and she was crying. She pointed at the counselor. Why are you doing this in front of her? Why are you embarrassing me in front of her? We're getting married. I picked names. We picked names. You said you wanted Theo if it was a boy. You said it. You said it in the kitchen with your mom. Your mom heard you say it. We never talked about names. You said it. She slammed her hand on the desk. You said it, Hudson. Don't do this to me. Don't do this. Then her voice dropped to a whisper, and she was rocking a little in the chair, and it was like she was malfunctioning again. You said you wanted Theo. You said Theo had your eyes. You said it. You said it. You said it. The counselor then spoke. Bertha, sweetheart, you're okay. You're safe right here. I'm going to get you some help, all right? Just stay with me. Then she grabbed the office phone and dialed 911. But
Yo! W move! That's genius! Lie to her and just call the cops, bro. Like, and then you gotta do the method, right? You gotta go to the 911 method. You go, hello, can I get a cheese pizza with extra pepperonis? If you say that to the cops, they'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Bertha wasn't safe, and I wanted her to feel the fear and panic she had put me through. And so I slid the deadbolt photo to her. You broke into my house and took this picture. You're insane. Bertha looked at the photo, and her face went blank. She picked it up and held it close to her face like she was trying to see something inside it. This is our bed. Hudson, this is our bed. She was whispering now. I sleep here every night. I sleep here next to you. Why are you saying I broke in? I live here. I live here. You don't live in my house, Bertha. I live in our house, she cried, and then suddenly slid out of the chair and fell to the floor with the deadbolt photo crumpled against her chest.
Why are we falling on the floor, bro? Is she age regressing right now?
She kept whispering, I live in our house. I live in our house. I live in our house. The counselor crouched next to her with one hand on her back trying to calm her down. I looked at her on the floor. Her greasy hair was stuck to her wet face, and she was looking at me like I was the only person in the world, because to her I was. I was the only person in her world. The rest of it was a story she told herself so she could survive being completely alone.
Wow, that's actually depressing. I kind of feel bad for Big Bertha, not gonna lie.
But I had just shattered her delusions and brought her back to the real world, and she couldn't handle it. 2 EMT guys walked in a few
Why are the EMTs here? I thought you called the cops!
minutes later, and one of them knelt down next to her and tried to get her to sit up. When she didn't, the other rubbed her shoulder and told her she was going to be okay, and they were going to take her somewhere safe. Bertha still didn't look at them, but they lifted her onto a stretcher, and she didn't fight them. What's gonna happen to her? I asked the counselor as they wheeled Bertha out of the office.
Why are they wheeling her out on a stretcher? Why wouldn't the cops just arrest this girl? Bro, I don't... What kind of 911... Oh, you know what? She probably said, can I get a pizza with pineapple? You gotta know the code words.
She's probably going to be placed in a long-term psychiatric facility. She'll be there at least a year, probably longer. She needs help, Hudson. Help she should have gotten a long time ago. I nodded, but didn't say anything. By the end of the school day, everybody knew what happened in the counselor's office, and so Andre caught up to me at my locker. Bro, I'm sorry. I should have had your back. I knew you wouldn't have done that to
Andre's an OG, bro. You should just date him at this point.
Lauren. It's okay, man, I said, but wasn't sure if I really meant it. I gotta get home, though. Yeah, all right, bro. Catch you later. I was almost at the doors when Coach caught me in the hallway. I'm putting you back on the starting roster on Friday. The recruiter from state is coming to the game. Don't let him down. I won't, I told him, feeling glad I had football back. I was walking to my car when I saw Lauren standing by hers across the lot. Her nose was bandaged across the bridge, and she had a yellow bruise under her left eye that was starting to fade. She looked at me, and I tensed up because I didn't know what to do, but then I walked over to her. Hey, I said awkwardly. Hey, we stood there for a second. How are you feeling? I asked her. The doctor said the bandage comes off Friday. I nodded because I didn't know what to say next, and so she spoke. Hudson, I love you. I want you to know that. But every time my phone buzzes, I still think it's her. Every time I hear footsteps behind me, I still think it's her. I can't be your girlfriend right now. Maybe not for a long time. I'm sorry. You don't have to be sorry, I said, choking up because I thought we could go back to normal. She nodded and her eyes got teary, but she didn't cry. I didn't either. She got into her car and I stood there until she pulled out of the lot. I was walking back to my car when I saw Madison standing over a girl on the concrete, and she had pink syrup running down her face.
Do not save this girl. Oh, this is the real Big Bertha. Wow. Yeah, do not try to help this girl right now. Listen, bro, I think you learned your lesson. I think that the popular girl bullies at school get bullied for a reason. If you help this girl, you are about to ruin your life. Hear me out.
And into her shirt. The girl wasn't even crying, as if she had given up. I stood there for a second watching them, thinking about telling Madison to back off like I did before, but I didn't. Instead, I got in my car and drove home.
Wow. And the reign of bullying continues. Holy, bro. Why, Spider-Man, why did you recommend this one that it was peak? That was the most rage bait inducing story I've ever watched in my life, bro. No, this might be the worst one. Oh my god, that one got me worked up, bro. Holy cortisol spike. I'm never listening to Spider-Man in my comment sections again. I joined the gang that killed my girlfriend. Wallahi, this sounds serious. We're gonna need to lock in for a moment of silence. All right, let's commence the video.
I felt like the luckiest guy on the planet at my senior prom because the love of my life, Chrissy, had her arms around me and we were slow dancing to our favorite song. In my mind, the rest of the students melted away. I love you. She smiled at me, then touched the side of my face. Good, because I love you too. We shared the most magical...
They're really setting up this like gushy mushy love story considering that we all read the title and thumbnail of this video. Like, we know what's about to happen, bro. Why do they gotta break our hearts like this?
Kiss of my life. Then I felt her body tense up. What's wrong? She was looking over my shoulder at someone across the room. I turned and saw a wild-eyed
Chester! Oh no. That ain't Chester. I thought it would be Chester.
Looking guy watching her. He had a tattoo under his eye and a few scars down his neck. He couldn't see me, but I could see him. Nothing. It's not nothing. Who is that? It's just some jerk that I met a few days ago. Don't worry about it. All that matters.
A few days ago? No, I'm assuming that's her ex. What do you mean you met him a few days ago and you guys are at prom right now? What are the implications here? Maybe she deserved to be eliminated. We might have a cheater on our hands. I don't know, I'm jumping to conclusions. Let me continue watching.
Matters is us, right now, right here. We kissed again, and I quickly forgot about anything else. I looked up at the sparkling strobe light above us. I was in heaven. The next night, we were supposed to meet up at my place when she didn't show up.
Oh yeah, she's dead. Chrissy's dead, bro. Rest in peace, Chrissy.
Called and texted her, but she didn't respond. I went over to her house, snuck into her window like I always...
Yo, okay, bro, this... You know you can knock on the door, right? Like, this is an option. You don't have to climb in through the window. That's a little bit of a red flag, not gonna lie. And if your neighbors see this, you're getting the police called on you immediately. I would just knock on the door, bro.
Did since we were 6 years old and saw her laying in...
6 years old? All right, this brings into question the gang member even more. Like, maybe it's not an ex. Maybe it's just a guy she met. I don't know.
Bed. Chrissy, she didn't respond. Hey babe, you all right? I tried to shake her and she still didn't move.
She's dead already! Bro, I don't know about you guys, but her skin is looking a little bit pale, a little bit blue, and I bet it's about to be cold to the touch too. She might be lying here deceased as we witness.
My heart sank and I felt a terrible chill travel up my spine. Chrissy, please, wake up, please.
Bro, she's
I rolled
literally
her over
blue.
towards me and saw her eyes were wide open and she wasn't breathing. Oh no, Chrissy, wake up.
Chrissy, wake up! I don't like this!
I felt for a pulse, and my worst fears came true when I didn't find one. Tears flooded my eyes and I called 911, but it was too late. 3 days later, I was standing at her funeral. Her mother...
And the gang member is at the funeral. Who invited this guy? Is this a family friend or acquaintance, perhaps? Or is this just a random bro that showed up?
Funeral.
I don't know.
Her mother sat trembling in the front row. I didn't cry because the authorities said that she overdosed on fentanyl. Chrissy hadn't even smoked a cigarette.
Why wouldn't you cry, bro? She's dead. Oh, because he thinks something's up.
Or even tried one puff. She hadn't even tried a glass of champagne. She had watched her uncle pass away from drugs and alcohol and swore she would never touch anything. I was fixated at what actually happened and who was responsible, and I knew it had something to do with one of the Iron Vultures.
Bro, why would they show up to the funeral? That is so disrespectful, first of all. Second of all, the Iron Vultures, bruh.
Notorious biker gang and actually had the nerve to show up to her funeral. When I looked across Chrissy's grave at their leader, Deacon Kovacs, my fists clenched and my guts churned because I know he's hiding something. He was the same guy at our prom, and either him or someone from their gang did this to the girl I've loved ever since I was 3.
Why are these dudes trying to go after high school girls too? Aren't they like bald? Aren't they like 50? We're talking about a 7 on the Norwood scale on half of these guys. With mustaches. Bro, holy. The implications here are dark.
Years old. My father, Frank, put his arm on my shoulder, doing his best to comfort me. He had been a cop for over 20 years and also knew when something didn't sit right. On the way home after the funeral, I turned to my father. You know, as
rare moment where the father in the story is not actively sabotaging the main character on his quest for righteousness. Bro, unless he rubs it off right here. Wait, hey, yo, what? Unless he writes it off. Oh my God. Slip of the tongue.
As I do that someone from the Iron Vultures is responsible. His eyes darted at me, nervous. Are you saying what I think you're saying? I nodded. You've been saying you wanted someone on the inside to expose their corruption. Well, what's better than a teenage kid that seems like he needs a family to be a part of? My father took in a long, deep breath. Please don't do it, son. I'm begging you. You're just a kid, and it's gonna be the most violent, disturbing thing you'll ever do.
So the cop dad is telling me the 3 suspicious dudes at his son's girlfriend's funeral are a part of a gang that he's been after, and he wasn't suspicious of the fact that they just showed up out of nowhere. Fishy.
People are savages, pure animals that will stop at nothing to destroy anyone that's in their way. I get it, Dad, but I can't let the memory of Chrissy down and let them get away with it. She deserves some form of justice. He understood. All right, well, I know that even if I forbid you from doing it, you'd do it anyway, wouldn't you? There is nothing that will stop me, Dad. That's what I thought you'd say. Well, listen up. You need to know that there are some lines you will have to cross that you can't ever come back from, and those choices you'll make will haunt you for the rest of your life. I felt the weight of that land hard on me and nodded. I understood. Dad swallowed some pills that always calmed him down. I learned how to ride.
No, Dad's about to go out too, just the same way that your girlfriend went out. No, that pill was laced by the Ironclad Falcons. What was the name of these guys? I don't even know, bro. That was a suspicious detail. I think Unc is going out too.
A Harley and researched everything I needed to know about biker gangs. Dad got me police files on the Iron Vultures, and I studied them thoroughly. 5 months later, I had successfully worked my way into riding at the back of the Iron Vultures motorcycle line, wearing a leather cut that read, Prospect. The Iron Vultures were known for running guns and drugs from here in Detroit all the way down to Florida. We pulled over at a gas station, and I watched all the local cars.
Holy inside job. Are they not gonna background check? These dudes might be dumb as bricks. Yo, you just invited a newbie with a cop dad into your circle. No, these guys are begging for it at this point. Wallahi, it's over. Bambakla, wallahi.
Fearfully scatter as we took over all the gas pumps. President Deacon waved me over. I want you to go inside and tell the cashier that we'll be filling up all our bikes and we won't be paying a penny. And if he's got a problem with that, teach him a lesson. Can you handle that, Prospect?
I don't think that's how the pump works, bro. I think you have to put the money in first for the gas to come out. I think it's literally designed like that. Unc doesn't know how to pump the gas, bruh.
My gut turned to stone, and my palms started sweating. I didn't have a choice but to agree. This was another test. Not a problem. I entered the gas station and approached the cashier. He was an old man and reminded me of my grandfather. There was an old picture of him in military fatigues. Hey, so, we're gonna take as much gas as we need to, and we won't be paying for it. Got it? He gritted his teeth. And if I say no, what happens then? I felt awful putting him...
Ooh, cutthroat unk alert.
in this situation. Look, man, I'm just following orders. You don't want to give us any trouble. And what if I do? I'm too old to be scared of you corrupt bastards. I don't care what you do to me. He reached
Valid. Old dudes do not have a lot of time left, so they don't take crap.
under the counter for something. Don't do that. I leaped over and saw that he was holding a shotgun and grabbed it away from him. Let go, old man. I ripped the shotgun out of his hands and he fell to the floor and clutched his chest. I was
Bro, this reminds me of the time I literally think I saw a drug deal at a gas station at midnight one time. This was like a week ago, bro. A little bit of a side story here. This is gonna be quick. Bro, I saw these two guys, right? He walked into the gas station at midnight and I was right behind him in line. He bought one of those little golden chocolates, like right at the front of the gas register. Just the first item there, the most rinky-dink little one. He looked around the store and he said this to the cash register. He was like, "It's a little bit busy right now. I'll be back in 3 hours." Like, bro, is that not a drug deal I witnessed? And then the guy went out of the restaurant, no, the gas station, after buying one little Rocher Ferrero chocolate ball, and he just sat in his car. Like, I swear I saw a potential drug deal. I don't know, the Indian guy at the gas station by my house might be selling drugs. This is what this is reminding me of, bro.
momentarily horrified and thought, what if I'm responsible for this man having a heart attack? I kneeled down to him. Are you all right? You don't care about anyone other than yourself. I hate everything your kind stands for. I felt so terrible because I wanted to tell this poor old guy the truth. I was doing this to bring these assholes down, and I agree with him. They make me sick as well. I'm sorry you feel that way. I helped him up, waited until the last biker filled up his tank, took one last sad look at him, and left. When I got back on my bike, Deacon watched me closely. I tried to look tough, but I think he saw through it. My dad said to be as honest as I could and use my real name with these guys. These maniacs were
Bro, why would you use your government name with them? Yo, I don't think your dad meant to be that honest. Like, now you're just self-reporting at this point. That's a crazy decision, little bro.
experts at smelling out a rat, so I didn't have long to find and gather real evidence that would bring this whole biker gang to their knees and make them pay for what they did to Chrissy. We made it back to the clubhouse, which was a converted slaughterhouse with a chapel that had a long oak table and a bar in the back. I slept in an attic room above the chapel. There was a cot, a chest of drawers, no windows, but a loose floorboard where I kept a small notebook of every transaction I had witnessed.
Bruh, just use your iPhone, bro. This is like physical proof of what you're trying to do right here. Just open Google Docs. Just open the Notes app and write it down in there. Yo, this dude is doing everything wrong right now to be incognito on the mission. Lock in, bro.
I also kept a photograph of Chrissy on the beach the summer she turned 16. I was writing a note when my door swung open. I quickly hid my notebook behind my back and saw Tonga, one of the lieutenants. "Yo, Prospect, my girl wants to talk to you. Don't be weird." He walked away, and his girlfriend Grace, who was also Chrissy's best friend, entered in tears.
What are the odds that it's Chrissy's best friend? Yo, then of course she's gonna know what you're trying to do here, bro. Oh my god, he's doing everything wrong. I'm gonna crash out.
I just need someone to talk to that knew her, and no one knew her better than you. Yeah, of course. I can't get over it. I wake up crying from nightmares every night, and it's the same one. I see Chrissy's face, and she says the same thing every time. What does she say? Nothing is as it seems. Do you know what she means by that? I felt my stomach tighten and tense up because I had to be very careful with what I said next. She had been connected to the Iron Vultures for years and would immediately go and tell Deacon if she even suspected anything. You were with her the night she died. Can you tell me about what you two did? Yeah, we were partying downstairs.
See, this is weird. Maybe these people aren't behind it after all. Maybe the cop dad is behind it. I don't know. This just seems like they might not be behind the murder here.
By the pool table, and I was drinking, but she wasn't. You know how she gets. Then she went to the bathroom and was gone for a while, like at least 20 minutes. Then she came back with a really terrified, sad look in her eyes and a black eye. I asked her what had happened, and she just shook her head, unable to talk. Did you see anyone go into the bathroom with her? Yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. The guys here are crazy. That made my stomach turn. Who went in with her? She hesitated, looked down at the ground. Deacon. Hearing that was like being stabbed in the heart. He doesn't want anyone in the club to find out what he did, because the rules they supposedly live by don't ever harm a woman or a child. He
Okay, so they are behind it, bro. She's just in on his mission. We got two insiders on the job right now. I see what's
could
happening.
be ousted if the other guys found out. Thank you for telling me this, but I don't know if I can do anything about it. She leaned in close and whispered, I just needed to talk to someone, and I don't know why you're here, but I know that it's not because you want to be a vulture. She grinned at me, as if she was totally onto me. I looked away, nervous. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me. She walked out. The next morning, the senior members met around the long oak table, and I stood at the back, where a prospect stands. They talked about a missing crystal meth shipment from Detroit, and a drug dealer in Ann Arbor that was a part of it in some way. Plus, a Detroit cop who had been parked down the street from the clubhouse 3 nights in a row. I kept my face still when they mentioned the cop, because I knew exactly which cop it was.
His father. Oh yeah, the subtitles just spoiled it right there.
My dad. Sweat formed on my forehead and I gritted my teeth. I told him 3 weeks ago to stop hanging around because eventually he'll get caught. Tonga raised his hand to speak. Let me take care of the cop. Deacon nodded. I knew I had to say something if I was to try and save my dad. Can I be a part of that, sir? A few bikers around the
That's so suspicious, bro. Look at the way this guy's looking at you on the left. Bruh, he's like, bruh, did you really just say that to us? My brother. Like, yo, that is a very obvious self-report. Why would you just injecture yourself in a moment like that? Holy throw, bro.
table glared at me for speaking out of turn, and then one of them slapped me across the face. You don't get to speak, prospect. Besides, isn't our copper on the inside supposed to handle crap like that? Deacon nodded. Yeah, but hold up a second. Why would you want to help take out a copper prospect? I panicked, and had to say something they would believe. I hate those pigs. Every one of them. They used to beat on me as a kid. If I can be a part of ending one, then that's a good day. Deacon burst out laughing. Then the others joined in. Deacon smiled at me. I like you taking some initiative. You'll go along with Tonga. Be discreet, but take care of Marco first. Tonga and I rode our bikes out to Ann Arbor and walked into a warehouse. Marco saw us and flashed a toothless smile.
Yo. Bro. Holy chopped.
He was taking his own meth. His missing teeth clearly showed us the evidence. Tonga grabbed him by the back of his head and slammed his face into a wooden table. What did you do with the missing meth? I swear I don't know what happened to it. The last time I saw it, it was with the messenger. He's up to something. Tonga pulled out his blade and stuck it next to his right eye. Marco started crying and pissed himself. I was terrified for the guy and felt embarrassed for him. Please don't. I swear I don't know what happened to it. You have 3 seconds to tell me or you go blind. Okay, wait, just wait. Look under my floorboards. He pointed down at the ground. We opened them up to see a huge crawl space that opened up to a large room. There were huge stashes of missing drugs and cash everywhere. Marco trembled. Tonga, prospect, I have an incredible offer for you both. That's why—
Bro, if you're tasked on this mission, why would you, like, keep it hidden right there? Like, you could have just brought everything out and been like, fellas, I found everything. Like, we could have avoided this. No, everyone's dumb as bricks.
I'm willing to show you what's down here. How about I give you both $1 million each to keep this a secret? It's just cash, sitting right there. Go ahead and take it. Just promise me we'll keep this to ourselves. Cool? I must admit, I definitely
That's actually a good offer. I would take that personally.
thought about it. Then the idea of spending my life terrified of being caught brought me back down to reality. Then I grew fearful of what Tonga was about to do to this toothless bastard. Tonga took his time, looked
Take out the rest of his teeth, bro. Hey, honestly, you'd be doing him a favor. I think it'd look better than missing one tooth, bro. Just take out his teeth. I don't think you gotta take an eye.
around at years of what this idiot had stolen from the gang, then pulled out his handgun, aimed it at Marco's face. Oh God, no. Please don't. You lying, thieving piece of crap.
Bro, if you have millions of dollars, wait a minute. Why wouldn't you just leave the gang with the money and just move to, like, Dubai, bro? What are you doing still hanging out with these dudes? You already made the bag on your own. You've already succeeded. Like, yo, just leave the country, bro.
Sorry, I have a problem. I'm an addict. I can't help myself. You're pathetic. Tonga was about to pull the trigger, then glanced at me, flipped his gun around and handed it to me.
Oh, it's a test. Can he do it? I know I could. Huh.
You do it, Prospect. Let's see what you're made of. I took the gun, aimed it at Marco, and then hesitated. My hand shook, my throat went dry, and I thought, am I really going to cross the line? There's no going back once I do. I looked at Tonga out of the corner of my eye, and he was glaring at me. Then I thought, well, at least he's a scumbag drug dealer. I'm doing the world a favor, and if I don't do it, I'd be dead before sundown. I closed my eyes and pulled the trigger. I heard Marco drop.
He actually did it! Oh my lord. Bomba clot wallahi.
Then I ran over to the side of the room and lost my breakfast. Tonga laughed at me. I stood up from the trash can and saw Chrissy's face. She was standing across the room and looking at me with a deep sadness in her eyes. I was mesmerized. Was it her ghost or just my mind playing tricks on me? I spoke to myself under my breath. Please don't be upset with me, Chrissy. I'm doing this for you. We rode back to the clubhouse, and Deacon and the other vultures all hugged and patted me on the back as if I'd won a prize. A few hours later, while everyone was out on a ride, I stayed back to clean the toilets, as prospects have to do. I mopped my way into Deacon's office. I was searching for any real evidence that I could show to my dad and the cops and take these assholes down. I checked to see if there were any cameras, then searched through every drawer I could and snapped pictures of every document I found. I had found a goldmine of information, so many records and transactions. Then I saw the door.
It's looking a little bit too good here. I think they're about to check his iCloud.
Door swing open, and Deacon was standing in the doorframe. What the hell do you think you're doing? My heart started furiously pounding. I didn't
Just tell him you're filing for taxes, bro. It's a good cover-up. Hear me out.
know what to say and looked so guilty. I discreetly hid my phone behind my back and slipped it into my pocket. He grabbed me by my neck and pinned me hard against the wall. I'm only gonna ask you one more time. What the hell are you doing in my office? He had that vicious gaze in his eyes that I'd seen before he killed people. His hand gripped tighter around my throat and I started to choke and see stars. Answer the question, Prospect. I just wanted to impress you. By doing what? Cleaning your office so it's perfectly spotless. He stared daggers at me. I trembled and started to completely
I don't know about that one, bro.
lose consciousness. My fear was vibrant. After what seemed like an eternity, he let go of my neck, and I collapsed to my knees, trying to catch my breath. That's the sweetest, girliest thing anyone's ever said to me. But
They're gonna fall in love. Mark my words.
how did you know? How did I know what? That I'm OCD with cleaning. I let out a huge sigh of relief. It takes one to know one. He nodded. Make it beyond spotless. I want to smell the fresh scent of pine sol when I get back. He grabbed his knife off of his desk and left. I closed my eyes in deep relief. Damn, that was close. I immediately emailed my dad and the cops every picture I had just taken, then called my dad and spoke quietly. Listen, you
Yo, just text him, bro. You don't gotta do a phone call. Just text him, bro. Bomba clot wallahi.
need to leave town immediately. They're on to you. What? They caught you parked outside. I told you what would happen if you did that and you didn't listen. Leave town right now. Okay. Later that night, I laid in my bed and stared up at the attic ceiling. I saw Chrissy's face appear again in front of me, but this time, she had a sympathetic look in her eyes. I could tell she understood everything I was doing, and tears flooded my eyes when I thought of how genuinely sweet and innocent she was, and these cruel assholes ripped her away from me. It made everything I was doing worth it. Then I heard a light knock at my door and opened it for Grace. Hey, sorry to bother you, but I found something. She pulled out a thumb drive and handed it to me. I had one of Chrissy's pair of jeans and I found it in the pocket, but I can't open it. I popped it into my laptop, tried to open it, and couldn't. Can I hold on to this? Yeah. She went to leave and I stopped her. Why are you helping me and not turning me in? These guys crossed a line with Chrissy. That's unacceptable to me. About an hour later, after I fell asleep, my door got flung open again and Tonga barged in, ripped me out of bed, and dragged me down the hallway. What's
Tonga! No, this is about to be a miscommunication. I bet he's like, bro, you didn't clean the office well enough. Clean it more. You didn't dust the tables, bro. I don't think it's gonna be what it seems.
happening? What did I do? He glared at me. You tell me. I was speechless. What did he find out? I have no idea what you're talking about. He shoved me onto the couch in the main room and started laughing. You should have seen your face. Deacon wants me to take you with me to that cop's house. We found out where he lives.
I knew it was gonna be a false nomer.
I wanted to be sick. Deacon wants you to do it, since you said how much you hate cops and all. He's giving you a gift. I was dying inside, but put on a smile. Let's roll. We rode out to the house where I grew up. I was praying not to get spotted by any neighbors, so I kept my helmet on as we approached the house. Tonga took out his sawed-off shotgun and signaled that I head around to the back of the house. I quickly did and grew terrified when I thought of Tonga breaking in and
Alright, bro, lock in right here. This is your moment. You don't want your old man to die. You already killed one of them. Just go for another, bro. And then say that your dad did it. Frame your father for the kill. Smart?
hurting my dad. I made it to my old bedroom window, slid it open because I always left it open, and snuck in. I stepped into the hallway and saw a light on in my dad's bedroom. I quickly entered and was shocked when I saw him packing a bag. In a panicked whisper, "I told you to leave. Why are you still here?" I had to wait to pick up a check and I had to come back for my medication. I'm not alone. He knew what that meant. I heard Tonga's footsteps and quickly gestured for my dad to hide in the closet. He rushed in and hid behind his wardrobe rack. I turned around and saw Tonga enter. I anxiously
There's a family photo right there. It's good, bro. It's right there.
pretended to be searching the room. "He's not in here." Tonga pointed at my dad's half-packed bag on the bed. "He's still around here somewhere. Did you check the closet?" I stood between him and the closet and casually spoke. "Yeah, he's not in there." Tonga stopped cold. I pointed to the hallway. "Let's go and search the rest of the house." I signaled that he followed me, and he
See, if I've seen any of these videos enough times, I know that dudes just shoot closets for no reason. He's about to shoot the closet and then go, "Oh, seems like it's all clear." And then his dad's gonna have like a bullet through him.
stayed still. "You said you checked the closet?" My breath caught. "Yeah, let's go." "Then why do I smell Old Spice coming from there?" "It's probably his clothes. Come on, he could be trying to leave." Tonga gripped onto my shirt. "How come you seem nervous?" I had to think fast. "Isn't it obvious? We're in a cop's house on an attempted kidnapping. It's my first time." That made Tonga relax a little bit, and he started heading towards the door. Then my heart sank when I looked over at the bedside table and saw a picture of Dad and me from a fishing trip last summer. My spine stiffened as I prayed under my breath, "Please don't see that picture. Please don't see that picture." Then, as Tonga reached the doorway, he stopped cold, turned his head to the left, and stared directly at the picture. I closed my eyes, horrified. I was busted. Tonga stepped closer towards the bedside picture, picked it up, and looked closely at it. He held his sawed-off shotgun by his side, and at that moment, I thought about putting a bullet in his back right then and there.
You done it before, you can do it again, bro.
But I didn't have it in me. My hands were shaking as I held my gun by my side. He turned around to face me with rageful eyes. "Explain yourself, Prospect." I raised my gun at him, and his shotgun was still facing down by his side. "Drop your weapon, Tonga." A vicious smirk flashed across his lips. "If you think I'll let some rookie-ass turd outdraw me, you got another thing coming, boy. I don't want to have to use this. Put your gun down, right now." Tonga stayed eerily still, ice water running through his veins. "Is he your daddy? Your uncle? He's in the closet, isn't he?" I said, "Put it down. This is your last chance. I don't want to have to do this. You're some dumbass kid with a cop daddy." I was shaking, feeling overwhelmed with terror and an intense drive for survival. I saw him jolt his shotgun up, and I opened fire. He was such a thick, tough, relentless Samoan that the shot didn't seem
A thick, tough, relentless Samoan. Yo, why are we glazing this guy right now? Bro, lock in, bro.
to do much. He even smiled. Then he fired his shotgun, and I quickly slipped to the side and put 2 more bullets in his chest. He was still standing. Then he squinted his eyes. "I eat bullets for breakfast, bitch." My terror
No, bro, what? He's gotta have a bulletproof vest. There's no way he's that tough.
grew because it seemed like nothing I did could stop this beast of a man. Then he took a step towards me, stopped, and fell flat on his face.
Okay, never mind. He was bluffing. Bro really was that tough. Wow.
His eyes were wide open in a cold, dead stare. "You probably shouldn't eat those for breakfast, 'cause that stuff will kill you." I have no idea why I just said that out loud. It's not like he could hear me. I let out a huge sigh of relief, then jumped out of my skin when Tonga's body convulsed, and he sat up and grabbed his shotgun. He wasn't dead.
What?
Holy crap, what the hell? I immediately fired 3 more shots down into him.
Yo, okay, this is overkill at this point, bro. Oh my god. Yo, the main character has become cold-hearted in this episode. Holy. Bro's going to the dark side.
And ended it. "Jesus, what are you made of?" I caught my breath, then glanced at the closet and saw a shotgun
What did I say? Dudes are always shooting through closets in these stories, man. I knew this would happen.
Bullet hole through the door. My panic shot through the roof, and I quickly swung open the closet door and saw my dad sitting against the wall, clutching onto his chest. Tonga's gunshot caught him. No, crap. Dad, can you hear me? Are you still with me? Dad? He slowly came to, and his breathing was shallow. I called 911. We got an officer down with a gunshot wound. I need help right now. Help is on the way, sir. The reporters and paramedics were there within minutes and rushed my dad to the hospital. I waited in the hallway near his room. The doctor stepped out and addressed me. You're his son? Yeah. Look, the bullet nicked his heart, and it's a miracle he's still alive. We've slowed down the bleeding, but if I had to guess right now, his chances are not good. If I were you, I would start making final arrangements. I'm really sorry. I felt a wave of intense sadness rush through me and stared down at the cold tiles. 2 police officers were waiting to talk to me, and we went into an empty office. The first officer reached out and...
Is that not the same guy that's in the clan? Forgive me if I'm mistaken. I feel like this is a familiar face right now. Suspicious.
Offered me a handshake. I was confused by it. I just want to congratulate the kid that gathered that much evidence against the Iron Vultures to bring these suckers down. We got your email and our lawyers are compiling the case now. We'll probably pick up Deacon in the morning. His cop friend wasn't as friendly. When he heard that, he turned cold, stood up, ripped open his police shirt to reveal a leather iron...
What did I say? Oh my word. Bro. Holy twist.
Vulture cut. Long live Deacon, and long live the Iron Vultures.
Yo, this guy's chopped. He's gotta die too. Yo, you already took out 2 of them? What is 2 more, bro? Turn to the dark side. Just start shooting everyone.
I quickly stood up and backed away. My guts burned with fear. His partner didn't see what he was revealing. What are you doing? Officer Reynolds. The officer pulled out his gun, turned to face his partner, and put a bullet into him at close range. I knew that if I didn't act soon, I was a dead man. He aimed his gun at me. Deacon says, he'll see you in hell. I leapt over the desk and slammed my shoulder into the middle of his chest and nailed him into the ground. We fought back and forth for a few seconds. Then I was able to bust through the door and run out of the hospital. He was right on my tail, and I heard him make a call behind me as he...
Yo, why isn't he using the gun, bro? Like, what is this, bro? You don't need to chase this guy, right?
He was chasing me through the underground parking lot. Deacon, I'm going hunting for a rat, and you and the boys need to join me. I hopped on my bike and peeled out down the street. I drove up the ramp onto the freeway. I rode several miles, hoping I was in the clear, but then heard the loud, thunderous roar of blasting bike engines. I looked in my side mirror and saw Deacon and 20 Iron Vultures revving their Harleys behind me. I hit the gas and took off as fast as my bike would take me. They were just as fast, and unfortunately for me, Deacon's motorcycle is seriously jacked up with rocket blasters, so no matter...
Rocket blasters, bro. Rocket blasters. Bro.
How fast I went, I wasn't going to outrun him. I sped across the freeway, hoping to reach an industrial area before them. The roaring sound of all 20 Iron Vultures cranking their bikes was deafening. Every other car on the freeway quickly swerved out of the way. They rode up next to me, and I started zigzagging across the lanes, threatening to bash into them if they got too close. You wanna effing play? Let's play, you ugly bastards. I knew that I had to get as crazy as them if I stood a chance. Deacon's Harley sped right up next to me, and he aimed his shotgun. I tilted my handlebars and headed right for him, and he fired a shot at my tires. Boom! He missed by an inch, and sparks flew up from the street. Ah! I almost lost control of my bike, but something miraculous happened. I felt Chrissy's hand on my back, reassuring and straightening out my handlebars. She saved my life and was truly watching out for me. I managed to cut Deacon off and exit into a triangular maze of industrial buildings. I took hard, cutting right turns and quick slicing left turns, but no matter how fast I thought I was, they always caught up to me.
I mean, bro's got rocket blasters on his motorcycle. I don't know if you're gonna be fast enough for that one, little bro.
Needed to pick a location and barricade myself in. I turned a corner and saw where I needed to go. Ah, crap. No way. It was the same gas station with the same old man behind the counter.
No, what are the odds, bro? Oh my... Wait, no, this is good. That old man is a homie. Wait, this might be nice.
I zipped into the parking lot, quickly dismounted my bike, rushed inside, and locked the door. What the hell do you think you're doing? Listen up, old man. I'm not with these assholes. I just spent several months undercover, and I've just exposed them for what they are to the police. I need you to call the cops because we're about to... Boom, boom. 2 gunshots rang out and...
You've endangered the old man. Wow, great job, bro. Yeah, he's going too. That's blood on your hands, cousin.
Blew out the glass of the front window. The old man reached below his counter and took out a rifle. Get under the counter. I ducked down. Reach into my duffel bag and pick whatever you like. I quickly called the cops. 911, what's your emergency? Gunshots being fired at the gas station on Rosemont and 7th. We don't have long. I tossed the phone, then saw his duffel bag, unzipped it, and saw a cache of guns and even a couple hand grenades. Jesus, man. What are you, Rambo? It's your own damn fault. Since you were here last and stole from me, I wasn't gonna take any more crap. I nodded and grinned. I'm kinda glad.
Grenades? What does Unc think is gonna happen? You're at a gas station. You can't bring explosives to a gas and like what are you gonna do? There's a robber in your gas station. Let me just pull the pin on this explosive grenade. Like, bro, what are we doing?
Deacon called in from outside. Hey, Prospect. Oh, Prospect. Tonga's looking down on us right now, waiting to watch us get payback like never before. I looked out of the corner of the window and saw Deacon signal to one of his bikers. The same biker pulled the pin on a smoke bomb and launched it inside. The all-consuming smoke filled the entire room. Both of us choked and coughed our lungs out. The old man clutched his chest. F me, I have asthma. He stumbled over and...
Of course, bro. Of course he has asthma, bro. Everything is like, bro, if you're gonna buy grenades, you're not gonna buy a gas mask if you have asthma. Like, holy, he's throwing.
Was hacking his guts out. I grabbed a grenade out of his duffel bag, pulled the pin, and chucked it out at them. Deacon saw it and quickly...
Alright, so we're all just gonna die right now. We're blowing up the entire gas station. Alright.
Peeled out. Several of his other bikers weren't as lucky. Boom. Ah, crap. The scorching explosive fire consumed a few bikers and blew them off of their bikes. The remaining bikers all started firing in at us, and I dove for cover. I felt tons of glass shards and debris fall onto my back, and I got cut up. The firing stopped abruptly. I slowly lifted my head and saw Deacon walking in with a mask and a shotgun. Come out wherever you are, you little piece of crap. The old man was still wheezing on the ground. I was behind the counter. I just needed to survive long enough for the cops to arrive, so I ran down an aisle and ducked down. Deacon slowly walked down each aisle of the shop while he spoke. I bet you'd like to know what actually happened to Chrissy, wouldn't you? I tensed up and wondered how
How does he know?
He knew. My cop on the inside gave me a whole profile on you, pal. I know everything I need to know. Chrissy was a live wire. I can tell you that. I felt rage unlike ever before. Is that why you drugged her? Because you tried to hook up with her and she turned your ugly ass down?
And she was a high schooler. Oh my God, bro.
Made my way around the counter and finally heard the police sirens approaching. Then I saw several of the remaining bikers enter the store. I was way outnumbered and felt a chill crawl up my spine because I realized that I might die today. I took a step out behind the potato chip rack, hoping to get the drop on Deacon, but then saw Deacon's gun in my face. Gotcha! My heart burned because I knew this was the end. I closed my eyes and then heard a loud pop go off. I didn't
The old man soloed, I swear. That's gotta be what
feel
happened.
anything, so I opened my eyes and saw Deacon staring at me with a shocked, morbid gaze in his eyes. I glanced down and saw a huge bullet hole in his chest.
Yo, he's looking right through it? What? Bro, is this Jujutsu Kaisen? This is what Gojo did to Toji. Literally, let me pull up the reference for those who don't know. Oh my God. This old man literally just did this to him. Like, yo, oh my, like the whole, an entire hole through his body? Bruh. How did he manage to do that, bro?
And could actually see right through him to the old man standing behind, smiling like a schoolgirl and holding a smoking shotgun. Deacon dropped. Within seconds, the cops swarmed the shop, guns drawn, and took out any remaining bikers that preferred to go out in a blaze of supposed glory. I just stayed down and covered my head. 20 minutes later, the entire gang had been eradicated from the earth.
Damn, eradicated from the earth.
I went to Chrissy's grave, sat beside her and put down some flowers. You can rest easy now, babe. Justice has been served. An hour later, I was pacing at the hospital, and after several hours, the doctor finally came out and broke into a smile. Your dad's one tough son of a bitch. He's gonna make it. I felt a huge surge of joyful tears of relief and hugged him.
Wow. Yo, Jinxie, get off of my... Yo, oh God. Yo, the autoplay. Oh my... Yo, that was cinema, bro. That one might just be second best. I don't know if we're ever going to top the Chester one. The Chester long form was probably as peak as it's going to get. But that story was insane. Bro took out the whole gang. Holy, we had like 8 people die on that one. I've never seen violence to this degree on his story. Wow. Well, fellas, that's another one in the chamber, locked in. My uncle is a psychopath, but there's a little bit of lore behind this one. If you don't know, yesterday I watched Never Defend the Quiet Kid because a dude named Spider-Man recommended it, right? That ended up being the freakiest, most insane video I've ever watched. So he left another comment. He said, all right, bro, let me redeem myself. You gotta watch the uncle one. So you know what? Spider-Man, we're giving you another chance. If this video is a hit, you have redeemed yourself. If it isn't, you're banned from the channel forever. So let's lock in and watch this. This better be a hit. This preview already looks crazy, so let's just get into it.
I was so excited when I graduated from the police academy and hugged my mom. Congratulations, sweetheart. I'm sure your father's proudly watching down from the heavens. We shared a hug, and then my Uncle Doyle came over wearing his police uniform. He had been my trainer, mentor, and a father figure to me ever since my real dad passed away. Congratulations, son. Are you ready for your first day? I smiled.
All right, so what do we think this guy's gonna do? Let's get some predictions in here, right? I think that this guy is, I think it's gonna be like a Death Note situation where he is a murderer and there's a crime scene he's working on to catch himself, and they're not gonna know about it. If that is the case, it might just be peak, because Death Note is a very fire show.
Beyond thrilled. 3 hours later, I was at a crime scene, staring at my first
Wait, there was a short version of this video I've watched before. This must be a continuation of it. I could not find that video if I tried, but I swear I've seen this before.
dead body, trying not to get sick. It was a woman in her early 20s, and her mother was next to me crying. I felt so bad for her. Couldn't imagine what she must have been feeling. I took her hand. You have my word that we will do everything possible to find this bastard. She cried, nodded in appreciation. I had noticed skin particles underneath the victim's fingernails, so she put up a fight and clawed the murderer before losing her life. The skin particles were real DNA evidence. Then, while I was comforting the mother, out of the corner of my eye,
I swear I watched this when I watched 100 of his shorts. If you saw that video, this might be familiar to you too. I know I'm not tripping
20
right
feet
now.
away, Uncle Doyle took out a bottle of hand sanitizer and cleaned her fingernails, destroying.
Bro, that's destroying evidence. Uncle Doyle, lock in. No, Uncle Doyle, first of all, crazy name, definitely killed this lady. Let's keep it a buck.
Any possible DNA evidence. He repositioned her body back to how it was. Then he hesitated, turned his head, and saw me watching him. I quickly turned away from him in terror.
Yo, not even a minute in and we already caught this dude red-handed. How is there 18 more minutes? You gotta just lock him up. Do you not have a body cam to prove this, brother?
And rushed outside. The captain arrived along with a few other cops, and Uncle Doyle briefed them on everything. I saw Uncle Doyle pull the captain aside.
Oh, they're gonna believe him because he's got seniority. They're not gonna believe the little jit because he hasn't been a police officer for long enough. Oh my god, I've seen this a million times.
I didn't say. It's a cut and dry homicide, most likely an ex-boyfriend. The captain nodded. I was horrified and felt betrayed by a man I thought I knew. He just blatantly lied to his own boss. Uncle Doyle got back into the car, and we drove in eerie silence for what felt like an eternity. Then my stomach dropped when I saw 3 red fingernail scratches across his forearm.
Oh yeah, he killed her. 100% he killed her. There's no way they twist this that somehow he didn't kill her.
That were just barely sticking out below his shirt sleeve. It hit me. Uncle Doyle murdered that girl, and he knew that I saw him hide evidence. I stayed quiet, because what could I really say? The first thing I thought to do was to call my mom, since he was her actual brother. But then I realized that I needed to go straight to the captain. Uncle Doyle glanced over at me. If you tell anyone what you think you saw, you will become an enemy to me. And do you—
Bro, who cares, bro? You're gonna be behind bars. Yo, holy pause. What is this, like, lip filler, glammed up frame I just paused on? Oh my god. Bro looks like the Travis Scott fish. Tell me why bro looks exactly like this image. Oh my god, what a pause. Yo.
Do you have any idea what happens to my enemies? I shook my head, terrified. My enemies end up face down in the LA River. I felt a chill go up my spine because I knew he wasn't kidding. But I didn't care about his threats. I cared more about truth and justice. So when we returned to the police station, I went straight to the captain's office and told him what I saw. He smirked. You do realize what you're saying is a serious accusation, right? Yes, sir.
Bro, this unk is like a 5 on the Norwood scale talking about You do realize what you're doing. Fellas, this is the Norwood scale. A bro's not even a 5, he's a 7. Deep in the Norwood scale right now.
Of course I do, but I swore an oath to uphold justice, and that's what I plan to do. He stared at me for a while, thinking about what to do, then called Uncle Doyle into his office.
Bro, why would you call in the guy he's literally accusing, bro? Yo, we got another Travis Scott fish pause. Oh my god, Doyle. Let me screenshot this. This is kind of funny. Let's continue.
Doyle, your nephew here is claiming you destroyed DNA evidence. Is there any truth to that claim? He said it with a weird sarcasm, not believing it himself. Uncle Doyle smiled. If you call me sanitizing my own hands,
Oh, bro, he's gonna kill you, bro. Your uncle's gonna kill you in the lake now, bro. Oh my god, bro.
I guess so. They shared a comical glance, then cracked up laughing. Way to go, Columbo. Great job with your investigation, dumbass. They laughed harder.
What?
Obviously, my nephew's seeing things. It's his first day and his first dead body. He was shaking in his boots, pretty sure the little turd pissed himself. Fear makes the mind see weird shit. The captain nodded in agreement with him, and they started talking about football as if I didn't exist. I left, feeling obviously disappointed. I went straight to my mom's.
No, yo, the whole police department's got to go at that point. I feel like they're probably all behind it. No, why would he dismiss it like this? I think Unc on the Norwood scale, Mr. 7 on the Norwood scale is behind it too. Hear me out. I think it's an inside job by the whole freaking police squadron. If that's true, lock that in.
House and told her what I saw, and even she was doubtful. Are you sure he wasn't cleaning his own hands? I mean, that doesn't sound like your uncle at all. He's always been the most honest, stand-up guy I've ever known. You probably just saw it wrong. I clenched my fists, so enraged that no one was believing me. No, I know what I saw, and he's hiding something. The victim clawed at him. I saw the scratch marks on his forearm. No matter what I said to her, she wasn't buying it. He could have gotten scratched from that weird cat he has or something else. I walked out and realized that I needed to build a real case on my own with legit evidence. I was mad at myself because I should have taken a picture of her fingernails. Uncle Doyle never thinks about modern—
Bro, do you not have a body cam? Isn't that required of all police officers? Hey, bring up the VOD, bro. There's literally proof on your body.
Technology, and wouldn't ever think I would have taken a picture. It's too late now. I called the only person in the city of Los Angeles that I was sure was not LAPD. Maria Cho was a defense attorney who I'd met a few years ago. I called her, and by 11:15 a.m. I was in her downtown office. This is probably not the first time your uncle's done this. Whatever you do next, I highly suggest that you do not go back into your division alone. Let me think about what to do. Go home and wait for my call.
Yo, don't go home, bro. Oh my god, him sitting here with a gun, bro. Holy pondering. Yeah, I wouldn't go home, bro. Don't you live with your uncle? Why would the attorney tell him to go home if she's not trying to also end his life as well? I think they're all behind it, man.
Did what she said.
I don't
Went
trust
home and
anyone.
Sat on my couch. I started to doze off, then heard a loud bang at my front door. Woke up
No, that's Unc, bro. That's Unc right there. That's Unc right there.
startled and saw a man wearing a ski mask holding a sawed-off shotgun at me. My hands trembled and my heart was racing 1,000,000 miles per hour as I went to reach for my gun, but he slammed the butt of the shotgun across my face and knocked me out. I woke up in the trunk of a car in a panic. My wrists and ankles were zip-tied and I couldn't move. I was taught in the academy to control my breathing when in a terrifying situation, so I started taking—
Wait, there's a Zach D Films short about this exact situation. There should be a lever inside of the back of the car trunk you can pull on to open it from inside. I've seen this on Zach D Films.
in long, controlled breaths. The car drove for what felt like about an hour and stopped. I could smell dust and the heat was building up badly.
All right, bro stayed for an hour. He is not caught up on Zach D Films. He would have known how to escape this. This is why you watch Zach D Films. He can save your life, I swear.
The trunk swung open and I saw blinding yellow lights above. The same man in the ski mask pulled me out and dropped me on the concrete floor of an empty warehouse. He dragged me
Are we in the back rooms right now, bro? Like, what is this?
along the floor and tied me to a radiator pipe. The man pulled off his ski mask and he had a long, jagged scar running down his cheek. He sat across and stared at me for a while, then lit a cigarette. You're probably wondering why I haven't killed you yet, huh? The thought did cross my mind. I might as well be honest with you. After you left the station, your uncle had me tail you, and he said, if you make any moves other than going home, I should grab you, take you out to the desert, and end your existence. So I planned on doing that. Then I got the text about how much he was offering me to do it. $5 grand. Can you believe that bullshit?
Yo, this dude's about to become a cooperative on our side here. 5 grand ain't nothing to take someone out. Yo, this dude with the scar, I think, is gonna be a good guy at the end of the day. And then once they kill Ankh, they can take all his money. That's the BitLife method. Just grind the inheritance money.
I'm so sick and tired of these corporate cop types that claim to have no money and try and lowball you at every turn. I don't care. I texted him back and said, you better give me 20,000 or I'm not doing it. My uncle was notoriously cheap. Did he respond? Not yet. He took a picture of me tied up and sent it to Doyle. Maybe that'll motivate him to respond a little quicker. His phone rang almost immediately. I was terrified, yet intensely determined to escape, so I tried to dig into the zip ties with my fingernails and was slowly making progress while this guy put Doyle on speaker. Hello, Daddy Doyle. He covered the phone.
Daddy Doyle? Bro. What?
He hates it when I call him that.
Okay, why are you calling him that, bro? Aren't you like a criminal? Doesn't that seem a little bit like unprofessional?
Cheap son of a beach. What kind of bullshit are you trying to pull? I should be asking you that. I'm done being lowballed by you. You either get me 20 grand or I'm letting your rookie nephew go. Up to you. There was a long pause from Uncle Doyle as this guy winked at me and waited. Fine, send me your address. I'll swing by with the cash, you greedy d. The guy hung up, sent a text.
No, bro. Now he's doing a little jig, bro. He's dancing around. All right, this guy might not be a friend. If he's gonna get the 20K, he's probably just gonna kill him right now.
And did a celebratory dance. I was
Look
hit
at
hard
that.
by the cold, hard reaction.
This dude's sick. He's dancing around calling people daddy. What kind of criminal is this?
Of the cop life. My own uncle, someone I thought really cared about me, was paying a man to have me killed and was so casual about it. That seriously enraged me. My guts turned into stone as I kept slicing and slicing my way through the zip ties, praying that I was able to get loose before Doyle arrived. A few minutes later, the warehouse doors swung open and Doyle walked in with a duffel bag of what I was presuming to be the cash. He approached his guy with a
It's about to be toilet paper. We've seen this one in a previous video. They put toilet paper in the duffel bags, I swear.
cold look in his eyes. Here you go, you greedy fuck. Are you seriously calling me the greedy one? When you're the asshole that's making serious bank on all of your corrupt side gigs? Watching my own uncle do this gave me a deep sense of rage from how betrayed I felt. Doyle shoved the duffel bag at him. Shut up and count it. The guy kneeled down, zipped open the bag, and pulled out toilet paper rolls. He looked up at
Why do they always do toilet paper rolls? No, I'm starting to get his story IQ from watching all these videos. Like, I've seen this before, Unc. They tried this in the last one.
Doyle, and the last thing he saw was a gun barrel in his face. Doyle pulled the trigger, then turned.
Yo, okay, that's not what I expect. I did not think he was gonna eliminate the enemy operative. Oh my god. Yo, Unc is a savage. Holy. Surely bro's broken the zip tie at this point. I think he's about to solo
And
Unc.
approached me. My anger turned into pure fear when I saw firsthand what he was capable of doing. You know, I never liked you. I always thought you were a whiny little self-righteous asshole, thinking he's better than everyone. You aren't. You shit twice a day just like everyone else. You just
So do you, bro.
have the worst timing because you happen to start on a day when things are kinda crazy for me. I thought of all the times when he helped me or taught me how to be a cop and got really sad because he used to look out for me. Why did you kill that girl, Uncle Doyle? Because I can get away with it and because I get off on the power. I can't help myself. But my favorite part is watching suckers like you get really close to finding out, then failing. He let out a
This dude is a sicko. What is that reasoning?
maniacal cackle. Plus, I'm sick and tired of beaches always thinking they can lead me on and then not put out. I'm done letting them get away with it. He checked the bullets in his gun. Well, it's time for you to go, kid. I'll make sure to cry extra hard next to your mother at your funeral. I'll even collect money from our whole family because I'll be so grief-stricken. He laughed again, stuck the gun against my head and hesitated. I closed my eyes in agony, thinking that the last person I would see before I died was my sick, corrupt asshole of an uncle.
He's hesitating. This might mean he has a heart at the end of the day. Maybe he's even being forced to do this, right? There could be a twist that Uncle Doyle isn't so bad. Maybe there's bigger people behind the scenes pulling strings.
Then nothing happened. He was taking too long, and I saw that he was struggling to pull the trigger. You can't kill your own blood, can you? Shut the hell up. I could tell he was seriously conflicted. He was a very twisted guy, but killing a fellow cop and your own nephew crossed a line for him that he hadn't ever crossed. That's why he tried to pay someone else to do it. You could just let me go. It's never too late to do the right thing. Isn't that what you taught me? He laughed, thinking that was a ridiculous idea. Hell no. You know too much. He paced in a...
Bro, I know Unc ain't laughing while he's a 2 on the Norwood scale. Bro, you're a 2 on the Norwood scale. I don't want to hear you laughing, bro.
He paced in a circle for a few moments, then got an idea, took out his cell phone and made a call. This is Doyle. I caught the guy, red-handed. I have him in my custody right now. You won't believe this shit. He's one of our own. My own blood. He dug up some serious...
How you gonna explain the dead body that's in there, bro? With your gun's bullet in his head. How are you gonna explain that to the police officers, huh?
Big crocodile tears. My heart's broken because I trained him myself. He was like a son to me. He's a psychopath that needs real help. So that was his plan. Frame me for being the killer. He hung up and smiled. There it is, you sick, perverted little murderer. Damn, I love my life. I was beyond disgusted by him and wanted nothing more than to get free. And it was at that moment I realized I would not hesitate in putting this animal down if I got the chance. In a deep drive for my survival, I relentlessly scraped my thumbnail through the zip ties, set myself free, waited for him to look away, then tackled him to the ground, and when he landed, I heard a crunch. He clutched his ribs in pain. I slugged him across the jaw, grabbed his handcuffs and cuffed him.
Yo, what a move, bro. Oh my god. He's probably still laughing because the cops are on the way, but like, brother, you're cooked.
Started laughing. Go ahead, you little d***. Who do you think they'll believe? A veteran hero or a rookie nobody? I froze because I knew he was right. I grabbed his gun, aimed it at him, feeling murderous rage, and then thought, I'll just look guilty if I end him and no one will believe me over him. That frustrated the crap out of me, but I needed to get out of here, figure out how to gather some kind of evidence and bring it to my lawyer and then the cops. I stepped out of the warehouse and was conflicted when I saw both cars.
Yo, maybe the actual dead body of a criminal is perhaps sufficient evidence that you should be taking with you. You ever think about that, bro?
Doyle's cop car and the hitman's car. Which one do I use? If I get caught in either one, I'm screwed. I figured I might as well use the hitman's car, especially if Doyle had already called the cops and they were on their way. They would definitely be looking for his squad car. Then I heard sirens, looked up and saw 3 cop cars already approaching. I jumped into the hitman's car and peeled out. We were in the middle of an industrial area, but I wasn't sure if the cops saw me take off. I sped around to the back of the warehouse and drove down an alleyway. As I was going,
I don't know if that's an alleyway, bro. That might be a bridge, not gonna lie.
one of the cop cars spotted me. Crap. I hit the gas, then heard the cop cars peeling out, turning down an alleyway and speeding towards me. I floored it, hit the on-ramp up onto the freeway, and started passing as many cars as I could. I thought about pulling over, but it would be my word against Doyle's. I knew that I didn't stand a chance. I had to figure out some other way to prove it to them before they captured me. As I was speeding down the freeway, I saw 5 new police cars merge on and join the chase. My heart sank and my fear grew because now every cop in the city would be gunning for me. 3 minutes later, the helicopters and the news vans also...
Really? The helicopter? Bro is in GTA 6 with 5 stars right now. Is it really that serious? I guess you reported him as a murderer, so like, I guess.
started following and filming me. I was that idiot on the local news of Los Angeles that was now in a high-speed chase. I hoped my mom wasn't watching. I was feeling more and more hopeless the longer the chase went on. It wouldn't have helped me to pull over, so I committed fully. I went a few more miles towards downtown LA and exited. I hauled butt around the city streets with the cop cars right on my tail. I turned down empty alleyways and one-way streets, trying my best to get away and failing at every turn. I was starting to feel hopeless and desperate. Then I finally saw a homeless encampment on Skid Row and drove right into the middle of it. Several homeless people stepped out of their tents and smacked my car. I drove down a ramp that led down into the underground. I made it to an area of homeless people that were living in hundreds of tents in between subway stops. I hit the brakes and jumped out of the car.
Yo, bro, just give the car to a homeless guy. Frame him, bro. At this point, frame the homeless guy, bro. That might be heartless, but listen. His name will be cleared in the future. You just gotta trust me.
I saw the cop cars a few hundred yards behind me and took off running. They also jumped out of their squad cars and chased me on foot. I saw an older
Why wouldn't they just drive down, bro?
homeless woman and she waved me into her tent. I looked back and saw the cops gaining on me and didn't have a choice but to follow this woman. Her tent was full of food cans, blankets, and clothes. She handed me a different shirt, jacket, and a hat. Put this on quick, then pretend to be asleep. I slipped on the clothes, put on the hat, and laid down on a thin mattress.
He's sleeping with the homeless lady. Yo.
The woman laid down behind me and put her arms around me as if we were a sleeping couple. The cops whipped open the entrance to her tent and saw us. We both pretended to be asleep and she snored loudly, really selling it. The two cops looked closely at us. I held my breath, thinking I was screwed. After a few moments, they left. I thanked the woman by giving her all the cash in my pocket and I left. I was so moved by this woman's kindness. She gave me a little hope in humanity. I snuck out of the underground and made my way back up to the city streets. I ducked into alleys and hopped in a cab. I needed to make it to my lawyer Maria Cho's office, hoping she could help. I knocked on her window and scared the heck out of her.
All right, lock in Maria Cho. How did he just get in through that window? What? Wait, is that not like a window to like a view? How did he open that window? What?
Climbed in, and before I could say anything.
He literally climbed the building, he's saying. All right.
What the hell did you do? She had the TV on, and it was replaying my cop car chase. She stared at me like I was guilty. Doyle's setting me up. She was skeptical. I'm sorry, I can't help you. My reputation's on the line. I have worked very hard to build it over the last 10 years. I can't be seen harboring a fugitive. What the hell?
What kind of lawyer are you? What?
You said you'd help me. That was before you made the news. I'm really sorry, but I have to turn you in. She pulled a handgun out of her drawer and aimed it at me. I was betrayed yet again. She was the one person I had trusted, and now she's acting like I'm a murderer. I was so frustrated and at a loss, so I held up my arms in surrender and slowly made my way over to her. Don't take another step. I will open fire. Her assistant rushed in, not knowing what was happening. The lawyer glanced at her, so I used that as a distraction to smack the gun out of her hand, jumped back out of the window, and
You're gonna die! Okay, this also confirms my suspicions. How did he just casually walk through this window? I have so many questions, bro.
escaped. I realized that the only way
Oh yeah, of course, he just landed. Oh yeah, no, he just landed, bro. He just landed 5 stories down without breaking his legs. Yeah, of course, bro.
I was going to prove my innocence was to somehow find more evidence on my uncle and show it to the captain. My mom started calling and texting me, and I needed to talk to her and let her know that I wasn't guilty. She had probably seen the news and was horrified. I called her. Mom, whatever you think about me, it isn't true. You think your brother is the innocent one here and you're flat out wrong. There was a moment of silence on the other end as she was crying. I don't know what to believe, honey, but I think you should turn yourself in and let the powers that be help you find justice. The powers that be are being fooled by Uncle Doyle, and I'm gonna
nobody's believing him, bro. Not even your mom. It be your own mom. Wow.
prove it. And you're gonna regret not believing me, Mom. Your own effing son. I hung up, beyond pissed off. I dressed up like a homeless person and snuck up to my uncle's house at around midnight.
All right, I don't think that disguise is fooling anyone, bro. You've just got a green jacket on. Like, you've got the most recognizable hair and face of all time. You ain't tricking nobody, bro. You literally have heterochromia eyeballs.
He wasn't there. I had my own key and quietly entered and started looking around. I searched every room in his house and didn't find anything. Then I happened to glance up into the ceiling and smelled a strong odor of alcohol and cleaning products. I looked closer and realized that he had an attic. I found the opening, pulled down the ladder, and climbed up to see stacks and stacks of boxes. I started going through each one and found several small pictures of many different women. I also found a box full of gold necklaces and bracelets with a small tag that showed a name and a date. He had been doing this for a very long time, and I was deeply disgusted and horrified. I snapped pictures of every single picture and piece of jewelry. Then I climbed down and saw the front door opening. I quickly hid in the closet and heard my uncle entering. I could see him through the crack of the closet. I held my breath and stayed as still as possible. He walked over to the minibar, fixed himself a drink, then stopped cold. He glanced up directly at me. He slowly set down his drink and faced the closet I was hiding in. Then,
How does he
as if
know?
he was a cowboy in the Old West, he drew his handgun and fired into the closet. I was shocked. My hands trembled.
Yo, okay, who just does that? Like, who just shoots their dresser? What are we doing right now? Is he insane?
He put a hole through the door and grazed my side with a bullet. By some miracle, I managed to stay quiet, but felt blood trickling down my side, and I almost blacked out from the pain, but barely held it together. Then my uncle looked down at his smoking gun, downed his drink, and cracked up laughing to himself as if he was being paranoid. I used his jacket and
What?
soaked up the blood that was dripping. About an hour later, he fell asleep on the couch, and I snuck out of the closet, tiptoed to the door, and stopped cold when I heard him snoring. I slowly and quietly opened the front door and snuck out. I waited near a trash can in front of the police station until sunrise and saw the captain arrive. Then I entered the station with my hands up. 10 cops pulled out their guns on me. My captain stepped out, and seconds later, Uncle Doyle walked in, and
Alright, bro, so what's the plan here? Oh, he's got the proof in the pudding!
they all saw me. I held my phone in my hand
I
with
forgot
my
about the
pictures app
photos.
pulled up and blood dripping down the side of my leg. I witnessed my uncle destroy evidence and found these pictures up in his attic. I believe this is evidence of trophies that he's kept over the last 20 or 30 years of murders that he's committed. My uncle's face dropped. Then the captain started laughing out loud. All of the other cops joined in on the laughter as if I was some big joke. Are you freaking kidding me? I've known Sergeant Doyle over 30 years. Is this some kind of a prank?
Yo, come on, Norwood 6, bro. What are we doing, bro? I thought they were all in on it. They're all just got brick brains. They all have brick brains.
No, this is serious. I saw it with my own eyes. They cracked up laughing even harder. When Doyle saw what was happening, he joined in with the laughter, knowing he was in the clear. My own flesh and blood tries to frame me for a murder he committed. It is funny, but it's also kind of sad. I care so much about truth and justice, and the fact that I trained you and you've become this sick monster really breaks my heart. He pretended to get choked up, and out of the corner of his eye, he winked at me. Of course, no one saw it but me. Then the captain got in my face. You're about to learn a hard lesson of life, boy. You're a lying, murdering, delusional f***. Cuff him now. They arrested me on the spot and booked me. They took my phone, and a few hours later, when I demanded that they look at the photographs, they claimed that there weren't any pictures on my phone anymore. My uncle must have secretly erased them. I got my
Yo, does he have like brain iPhone powers? He can just electromagnetic wave delete photos from a distance? No, we're dealing with a high-level threat here. I did not realize what we were up against.
wound fixed up. Then I was put in a jail cell. I called up Maria Cho and explained everything to her. You need to get a warrant so you can look inside my uncle's attic. And do it as quickly as you can, because he will destroy the evidence that's there. It took her 3 days, and she finally got a search warrant and searched his attic. Of course, she found nothing. He cleaned it out and covered his tracks. I felt like my entire world was falling down around me. There was no truth, no justice, and the entire system was a corrupt lie. Then the whole case against me changed during my first night in jail. I was abruptly woken up by a massive man with a knife standing beside me. He had a vicious glare in his eyes, and we both knew why he was there and who sent him. I felt terror, which quickly
just
turned
gets
into pure
worse.
rage for my survival. He stabbed at my head, and I slipped out below him. He grabbed me and slammed me into the wall, and then the small sink. I was fading fast and felt my world spinning out. I dug deep, gathered all of my strength, made my way around to his back, put him in a rear naked chokehold, and put him to sleep. An hour later, I called Maria Cho. My uncle just had someone try to kill me. You need to figure out a way to get a judge to give you permission to check his phone records. He sucks with technology and will forget to erase any texts or calls he had with the guy who just attacked me. A few hours later, Maria Cho met with me at the police station meeting room. Please, tell me you have something. I don't know if I'll survive another night in here. She touched my hand. I was able to get a judge to let me look at your uncle's phone records, and you were right. He's so sloppy. I found calls and texts to the man that attacked you. I have proof.
Oh, yeah, that guy with the phone call.
Real proof that shows your uncle sent him to murder you. The judge is letting you out in an hour, and there's someone else here that wants to speak with you. My jaw dropped when I saw the
His mom, it's gotta be his mom. Yo, mom, you gotta apologize. Lock in.
captain sit down across from me.
Oh my god, it's this guy, bro. It's this guy.
Son, I want to apologize to your face. Right now, I have every cop on the force gathering evidence on your uncle. They've been sending me pictures all day of the horrendous crap he's been doing. You were right. Later that afternoon, I waited with the captain out front of Uncle Doyle's house when he was dragged out in handcuffs by 2 cops. This is crazy. The whole world's out to get me. None of this is true. Fake news. I couldn't let him fool himself. The evidence speaks for itself, you piece of shit. You're a disgrace to the police force, to our family, and what it means to be human. You deserve to rot in prison surrounded by criminals that will always be trying to hunt you down and kill you. Good luck with that. And everyone you've ever known, our whole family included, knows what a piece of shit you really are. That cold, hard truth registered in his eyes, and he knew that I was right. He started crying like a baby. Please, you can't put me in there. I'm not cut out for it. I'm begging you guys. I gave him a taste of his own medicine and started laughing in his face. You're a ridiculous clown. Do you really think any of us are buying your big fake tears? Not this time, asshole. He stopped crying and turned hard. His true sick self finally came out. My captain had heard enough. Shove a gag in his mouth. The cop stuck a gag in his mouth, momentarily choking him. The captain turned to me and put his arm around me. Great work, kid. I think you have a bright future with us. After my uncle was driven away, my mom showed up. I am so sorry I didn't believe you, honey. You were right. I just couldn't see the truth. I hope one day you can forgive me. I pulled her into a hug, just so relieved and happy that all of this was finally over. I've already forgiven you, Mom. There wasn't even a court case because my uncle confessed to everything and got put away for life. The captain made sure that they stuck him in general population up at Rikers prison so that every murderer knew who he was and was truly gunning for him. We're all placing bets at the station that he won't last more than a month.
You're placing bets on your uncle's life in prison. What a ending, bro. No, that one was peak. Spider-Man, you redeemed yourself. There were so many twists and turns on that one. That might be the best long form I watched so far. I don't know. It's in contention with the Chester one. Not gonna lie, the Chester one might have been the best one, but that was second best. Spider-Man, congratulations. You're not getting banned from the channel. This was a good long form. All right, fellas, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Subscribe. Bye. Bye.